Hello. I think this should be working now.
Can you hear me, stream?
Hello.
All right.
Awesome hand. He's got a custom token now. It's so
Oh
good.
my god, he lives.
Yeah, I updated some hand. Because he's the animated gauntlet, and I've been using it. We were using the crawling claw hand. Had to fix that.
Yay.
This overlay
Hey.
looks great.
It really does.
Yeah,
It looks
Nice
really
work.
cool.
yeah. Thank you so much, Ink, for getting us this. It's really great.
I like
Yeah.
that you've upgraded from bird to robot.
With who?
Your DM picture.
Oh, I don't really know what to put up there, so I just put an NPC that you guys are going to be meeting. And I'll probably swap it out, like to some relevant NPC or to maybe something permanent at some point. I don't know. I might just replace it with a picture of a bird at some point.
Gotcha. Or
Oh no,
robot
better.
bird.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Exactly.
An Aarakocra Warforged.
A Warakakra.
They're on a journey to get
A Warcock?
upgraded
Sorry.
wings.
I said Warakakra, but okay.
I heard differently.
All right. Yeah. So, welcome everyone to first official session of Elysium. I suppose we've obviously played a couple before, but we're heading into the campaign proper. Is what I would call it. So yeah, I think we're gonna hop into the game relatively quickly. But could each of you give a short description, not necessarily appearance, but just description of your character and maybe a trait or two, or just something so that there's something noticeable about each of your characters. And I guess we could start with Shade, and we'll just go left to right on the overlay.
Sure. Shade is a Warforged cleric who could be best described, I suppose, as being very curious, maybe a little naive, but also simultaneously menacing, just based on vibes.
All right.
Alright.
You're
I'll
next.
be playing as Yuri Markov. He is a tiefling, a Sorlock who doesn't actually know the origin of his Warlock pact as he was born with it. He might seem very menacing just based on appearance, but he's a pretty chill dude. Generally helpful, generally not trying to cause trouble. Cough, 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 cough. Yeah.
Okay. And Torque next.
I believe Torque is up next.
Alrighty. Well, I'll be playing Torque the Tortle Technician, the Artillerist Artificer. He's about average height for a Tortle, 5'11", but built by an absolute tank. 450 pounds of muscle steel, and scorch marks cover my shell from where I've made several modifications. I wear all leather shop gear, complete with a pair of welding gloves at my side and a pair of protective red glasses to cover my eyes when I weld, but they are not currently in place. A company, literally from hell, attempted to claim my island, but I led the rebellion against them, and now I seek others who could aid me to maintain this rebellion.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Kailash would be next.
I believe it is now Kailash.
Yep, and Kailash would be next.
I've been muted this whole time.
Oh,
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh boy. Okay. Thank you. I'm playing Kai. His short form is Kai, a samurai fighter who prefers to fight at range and keep himself away from the kind of chaos of up close and personal fighting. He's a wandering warrior, doesn't really know where he's headed for. He's just kind of after some traumatic experiences, heading through life and various places, trying to see what fortune awaits him.
In case you're wondering, yes, he does use a heavy crossbow, and yes, his sword is his arrow.
Exactly.
Yo.
All right. Okay. We are going to pick up from the party, or part of the party, Shade, Yuri, and Kailash, who were taking this train to Eraheim. It had just gotten derailed, and you had helped get it back on track, and were basically just brought into station, where there were quite a few guards that were concerned, but immediately relieved upon seeing the train actually arrive at its destination. Before they are letting people off, they're informing them the guards are going to want to interview and question everyone to basically see what happened, what went wrong. The train still came, so they're not quite on edge, but obviously the train was delayed by a couple of hours, and they want to know, and they're being kind of secretive about it.
Is nobody going to mention the fact that the carts are missing?
Well,
We don't talk about that unless asked.
Where's all the luggage?
That's the thing. You guys are the three of you are at the back of the cart, and you hear them kind of they pull some people aside, and they're asking them questions, and they like to ask people in groups of one or sometimes two. They do keep people in the groups that they came with, but they are trying to seclude it. So you guys do have a couple minutes, not a ton of time, to like try to set like a cohesive story if you want to do that.
Say nothing.
I already
We're
know,
heroes. We saved everybody aboard the train, and that is our story.
I mean,
It's
that's the
not
true story. Why don't we just say that?
inaccurate.
Exactly.
True story as it may be, I don't know if whoever owns the train will try and get at us for damages, you know?
But I'm pretty sure we prevented worse damages.
Yeah, but we don't have the culprits on hand. They vanished. We have no proof, no evidence.
Yes, vanished. That's what we're going with.
Vanished into a spray of blood and guts.
Well, there's probably witnesses on the train, right?
I think they were a little too busy fearing for their lives.
I don't think their
But
lives
yes,
were
the
ever in
story
danger.
is the engineer, the wizard who was in charge of the train, faked an injury. I went to provide assistance, bring back a medic, and then he just killed everybody in his vicinity, summoned a bunch of undead to try to take over the train, and apparently had casted an illusion on the train itself that made it seem as if it was on track when it was really heading into a forest.
Okay.
At
The
which point they
wizard.
intended to steal it, and we stopped that.
That's just the truth. I'm
Yeah.
confused about what the nefariousness about the situation is, if there is any.
Well, the train was almost stolen, and they probably don't like the idea of the truth of the matter, them hiring somebody who attempted to steal the train, getting out.
That is true. We could make pretty good scapegoats.
Yeah.
Or
Good
they'll
chance.
be extremely thankful that we stopped the thief of their goods. I feel like that's more likely going to be the case.
You're certainly optimistic, I will give you that.
I mean, you were talking about enemies. What about friends? We just got here.
That's a pretty good spell, honestly. Should have picked it up.
We could also just refuse
what?
to talk until we have representation. That's a right we have, I think.
Is that a thing here? I don't know if that's a thing here.
In Eraheim, it's a little tricky. It is technically a thing, but it's not regarded well.
It's a suggestion more so than a rule.
Yeah. If they had cause to think that you were still involved, then they could force it and force you to talk otherwise. But it's very much a suggestion, and whether they listen to it or not depends on who you are, how nefarious they think that you might be involved in it, and so on and so forth. If you're a noble that's like recognizable, or you have a signet that's associated with one of the noble houses, and then you're like, I'm not going to talk to someone without someone here, then yeah, that's going to hold a lot more sway than if you're just someone saying.
What if I am a initiate of high sorcery? Oh, I think the stream just went down.
Oh, did it?
Eh,
Oh goodness, it did.
Not scuffed at all. I just got the message, OBS Studio disconnected, reconnecting.
Oh no.
Oh, OBS Studio reconnection successful.
We're back.
Yeah.
We back.
Are we back? Definitely not scuffed. Working perfectly. All right, yeah.
So from my background, it says I get the initiate of high sorcery feat, and in addition, the mages of high sorcery provide me with free modest lodging and food indefinitely in any occupied tower of high sorcery, and for one night at the home of an organization member. I don't know how relevant that is here.
It's decently the thing is it's recognizable, so you're gonna get credits for it.
I could also. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's not insanely impactful, but most guards would know who you're talking about, so they're gonna be like, okay, all right, you're not nobody that's just saying this. You probably have a good reason to be concerned or to be a little hesitant, or for whatever reason. So yeah, you feel confident that you could probably pull that card.
Yeah, I can also try and pull rank if that is something that works here. Being an ex-soldier, that might work.
I could try
love to
pulling
see that
limbs
again.
off if it comes
Maybe
to that.
not. Maybe we'll save that as a last resort. We've already got one floating hand over here. I don't know that they'd appreciate another.
I just thought you were a collector of floating hands.
No, I just got this off the body of an automaton. Wait, weren't you there for that?
No, I don't believe I was. You must be mistaking me for somebody else. We have very similar
Dang.
voices, see, but
You sound just like him.
just random flashbacks.
It's like, now that you mention it, kind of the spinning image too.
Nonsense. I have a beard.
I guess Shade
Right.
is pretty handsome.
Has most of the letters. It's missing an O and an M
Oh my
and
god.
an N.
I have regrets about my name choice. Anyway.
Make it so it's like something with like Voldemort, where like if you rearrange the name, it spells it out.
Uh-huh. Well, I think we've got our story straight.
In worst case scenario, I can always present them with the blade I kept. It's definitely tied to whoever the hell was responsible.
By present them with the blade, are you speaking literally or are you figuratively describing stabbing someone?
As then giving them the blade as evidence.
Okay, just checking.
Evidence of your fighting prowess as you plunge it into their gut. I
Oh
see
my
what you mean.
goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm not good at sarcasm, so I have to check sometimes.
That wasn't sarcasm. I was just stating a fact.
I believe you. Shade gives Yuri a thumbs up.
Okay then. I guess we'll just wait until they come get us.
Do we have to?
Uh,
What if they never come to us? And we just
Then we leave and pretend we saw nothing. But I'm pretty sure they'll come get us before
I believe it's a rule
much more time has passed.
if they don't arrive in 15 minutes, we are legally free to leave.
I've heard that somewhere too.
what a strange rule.
Well,
Does anybody have a watch?
it does
No,
not
but I'm a
take.
clockwork
So
sorcerer.
what? Are there clocks in this universe?
Sorry,
Uh,
Zed.
Yeah, there are clocks. I'd say that there are trains, so there are clocks. Especially since I put a giant
fair.
clock tower on my battle map. I really hope that there are clocks.
The hands
that-
never move. How mysterious.
It's just decorative
it's
from
because
another
Yuri
world, you
keeps
know?
taking them. That's why the hands don't work.
Damn it, Yuri.
I'm a hexblade. The hands of the clock are my blades.
Ah.
Also, real quick, because I didn't give the handout for it last time for whatever reason. I don't really know why. But this is the icy knife the strange wizard had on him that Yuri is currently in possession of.
So cool.
I
I
don't
could
know if
stare at
that's a
that
pun
forever.
or not.
It wasn't intended to be one.
I can never quite tell with you.
It's so cool. It's ice cold.
It's
Whoa,
an
what was that?
Ice blade you've got
you-
there.
Oh.
But yeah, they do not take 15 minutes before they approach you all. They do ask you a couple of basic questions. The story that you talked about, is that the story that you all give?
The one I'm giving for sure. If they split us up, I can't control what the rest of them do.
If they're splitting us up, yeah. Are they splitting us up? Otherwise, it'll just be like we all corroborate each other's story, I guess.
Fate
It's
will
a-
tell the exact truth to the best of their ability.
Can I use minor
good
illusion
question.
to like recreate the imagery from the events?
The guard there will ask if you're all in a group, and will pull you. And if you say that you're all traveling as a group, then he'll question you as a group. And
He's
yes,
gonna be completely honest and be like, I literally met them on the train. So no.
okay. But yes, you can use minor illusion to kind of give off the imagery.
So like the circle, the teleportation circle that we saw, face of the mage, his big guy that he had with him, and like the general foresty area.
Okay.
However much of that I can present.
Yeah, it does take a little bit. And they'll keep you a little bit longer just because of how in-depth you're going, because most people are giving a much shorter are not giving quite as much information, but you're like actually actively showing the scene, so they're wanting to record all of it and track it all down. So they spend a little bit more time with you than it looks like they spent with any of the other people they were questioning. But yeah, you show them about the teleportation circle, and what the wizard looked like and everything like that. And the rest of you are all completely honest and truthful. They don't seem majorly. They don't seem to not believe you. That you gave them no reason to disbelieve you. They don't look like they entirely trust you, Yuri, but they're not distrustful. You're just presenting them with a lot of information, and it looks like they are in a very, this person's a little suspicious because they're doing it, but he could just have been very present and aware of what was happening, which matched the story.
I had to kill these things. I was guarding the guy and all of that stuff happening. No, I was like 30,000 feet away from the scene.
It's
Excuse
like
me.
a hope.
If they don't ask any further questions, I will not be forthcoming with the blade. But if they do ask, I will be forthcoming with the blade.
They ask a couple of other minor questions about like the passengers, and if you noticed anything else off about the passengers, but they don't seem to really be. They don't ask any particular questions about the blade. The teleportation circle that you mentioned actually seems to be a major surprise to them, and they took additional notes when you were talking about that. Make an insight check actually for that.
All right. 11.
Oh,
Okay.
boy.
It seems like the teleportation circle was either something that they weren't certain was happening, or like they either had heard it but didn't have proof of it yet, or they didn't know it was happening at all. But they do seem to find that piece of information very useful. And really wanted to write down notes and like write down each of the individual sigils or runes. No, they're called runes. They wanted to write down each in each of the runes and copy what you had memorized.
I'll also let them know that it was used for the mage and his companion to board the train remotely when we had steered it in the opposite direction.
Yes, just sending them off into the distance. What had happened to the rest of the train?
Had to be abandoned.
All right.
It was It was a passenger-filled train. I felt we were most likely outmatched, so I made the executive decision in the moment to decouple the two carts from each other, and well, there may be some minor scuffing to the back of the remaining cart. I do apologize.
Insurance might not like it, but that's why we have it. Yeah, after grabbing all the information that you all present, unless any of you present anything extra, they are going to ask. They will. If you don't have anything extra to add, the guards will announce that their commander, who goes by the name of Garrick, will be returning in a day, and they would like you all, because you have more information about the event, to return in a day to talk with him in particular, just in case he had any extra questions, because he's currently investigating on a different side of Eraheim right now, and because of that, they are. And because they're asking you to make sure that you stay another day to come talk with Garrick, they are offering, if you all want it, a free night at one of the local taverns, as well as like accommodations and food for those days. But otherwise, you're all free to go. Thank you for answering the questions, and enjoy your trip to the city.
Thank you.
Yes, that's very hospitable of y'all. Thank you very much.
A free night at a tavern. I've learned that there are no such things as a free lunch.
Right, the
But it's not a
price
lunch.
here is the information that they want from us.
I don't trust it, but I am very tired. I would like somewhere to sleep, so I'll take that up.
All right, let's make our way over.
It's not quite night, but it is getting to the point, so you all can start heading over to that tavern if that's like your immediate destination. Let me move us to the correct map. So Eraheim is split into a couple different is split into a couple different parts. You all entered into the lower city. The lower city is slightly detached from like Eraheim proper, but it's where a lot of the commerce and railways are positioned. It's where the mines and forges are at. It's where most of the bulk industry and progress is made. It is well protected. It still looks quite nice. It's just not as posh, would almost be the better term, than different parts of the city. But you all are at the lower city. That you still see bits of the technological advancements that Eraheim are known for. They have active working power that's excuse me. They have active lampposts that are enchanted to work. They have multiple mech going around doing mandated tasks such as helping repair things or building new things. But you can find your way to your tavern relatively quickly. Inside, it doesn't seem to be quite that active. It's not quite, you're not quite at the point where it has the bustle of like the full nighttime activity. But you do have a good smell of what's coming in. They seem to be cooking some sort of a slow roasted game outside. Yeah, you're all arrive at the tavern.
Shall we allow ourselves to celebrate with some drinks?
I'd love some drinks. Are you? I'm sorry. I don't know if this is ignorant of me. What do you drink?
I guess nothing I drink has the same effect on me that it does you, but I like to pretend it does.
Do you have like a setting you can turn up to emulate that, or do you just kind of pretend?
I tend to just replicate the heightened emotions I see on you organic folk.
Okay, so just do me a solid and don't start a bar fight.
Kai's
Well-
very disappointed.
That all depends on the behavior of those around me.
This is going to go swimmingly, I can already tell.
They have a pool at the tavern? Wait, I don't
It's
think
a
I can
figure
swim
of
either.
speech. It's a figure of speech.
Oh. Like I said, I'm not great with sarcasm.
That wasn't sarcasm. Okay, I'm going to need to start compiling some notes for you. So I think I'll just take a seat over there and get started on that.
Okay.
Yuri
Look at
begins
this
scribbling down
nerd.
common sense things that he can recall off the top onto a piece of parchment. It's like, must write everything down. I can already see where this is going.
As you're all getting settled and ordering some of your stuff, Yuri, someone kind of they have their cloak pulled up really high, and otherwise seem to be really covered. When they bump into you, and they do kind of bump in, they like very forcefully bump into you. They seem to be wearing armor under their clothes as well. They very silently whisper over to you, and the rest of you can also hear him say, "You're being watched. We'll talk later." And then he proceeds to walk upstairs.
That's not ominous at all.
Was
Well,
I
that
wonder what
meant
that's
for us?
about.
No doy, he was watching us, and then he told us we were being watched.
Oh.
He could have meant somebody else was watching us and he was watching them watch us.
Well, then he should have
Honestly,
clarified that.
Well, yes, but that would go against the whole being dark and mysterious thing that he had going.
Well, why wouldn't he just tell us who was watching us? If somebody
Probably
is.
because they're still within the vicinity.
Shade, like, turns their head, like, 360 degrees around and is trying to scan.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Where am I? Okay. Okay.
Can I
Where
roll
is my sheet?
medicine to not
Oh
get a
my god,
migraine?
hold on. I'm so used to using the character mancer. Hold on, I need to get into... I need my sheet. Okay, it's happening. Perception. There we go.
Oh,
Ooh,
wow.
very nice.
Oh,
No way!
okay, all
Saying
right.
the cleric with the high perception, who would have thought?
Hey!
All right, there seems to be kind of an odd crowd in here. Uh, One second. Okay.
Wait.
Sorry. It seems to be kind of an odd crowd in here for the small amount of people that are here. Couple drunks, couple people that are got off work early, and then there seems to be like some retired adventurers, some aspiring adventurers that are going over hunts that they're working on. You recognize a very strangely armored turtle that didn't seem to quite be looking at you, but was looking in your general direction a couple seconds ago, and then seems to be concerned with their own project again. What was difficult to spot, though, was you looked outside on your 360 head swivel, that there did seem to be some person that's trying to keep in the shadows outside the house in an alleyway. And they're barely watching you through the window, but they are watching you, and you have noticed them. They do not look to have noticed you, though.
Okay. I'm
Okay,
gonna lean
so-
back down towards Kailash and Yuri. Am I meant to be subtle in this moment?
Yes,
Okay. They try their
preferably.
best to whisper. There's a figure in the distance in a window.
Okay, so what you're telling me is we should get out of the line of sight of the windows. Is there
Yes,
anything else you noticed?
farther into the tavern, perhaps. Nope. Just
Well,
they're
we're
kind of
not
looking.
we're not
over
doing
here.
anything suspicious right now. Is there anything we need to be hiding for?
It's less about hiding and more about seeing if we can't provoke them to come closer and make themselves known, but in a public setting so that we're not, you know.
Right. If we act like normal tavern participants, then that should do the trick.
Right, so Guy, you said you would like some drinks. Shade, you said you wanted to pretend to drink. I'll go make some friendly conversation with one of the other patrons of this fine establishment. And he'll walk over to the big turtle.
All right, you can walk over to the big turtle, and Chris, Torque sees Yuri walk up to him.
Oh, hi there. I was looking in direction earlier. Sorry if you thought I was staring. I was just thinking to myself, people often walk into my field of view and feel like they're getting bored into. Hopefully that wasn't the case for you.
Oh no, don't mind me. I'm just trying to pretend that I'm making friendly conversation. We can actually have a friendly conversation, but apparently there's some people that are watching me that aren't you, and I'm trying to see what they're gonna do. My name's Yuri, by the way. Uh, May I ask yours?
My name's Torque. I'd shake your hand, but still covered in a bit of grease from the shop, I'm afraid. Wouldn't want to get it on you.
Oh, no worries. He'll extend a mage hand.
I like you. I like you. I don't think we need to pretend at all with this one. Say, can I
Brilliant.
buy you a drink?
I don't usually indulge myself, but sure. Who am I to say no to such a kind gesture?
Sure, sure. Barkeep, one of the usual, please. And what will it be for you?
I'll have what you're having.
Oh, condolences in advance.
Oh boy. Well, I've already committed to this, so let's see it through.
The kind of stuff I drink cleans the grease right off of the engine block, if you know what I mean.
Well, I guess I'll find out what you mean in a moment.
I suppose you will. I suppose you will.
Barkeep brings you 2 mugs of dragon roast. It's a drink, Yuri or TK. It definitely is a drink. You're not certain what it's brewed from. You're actually a little concerned to ask. And it has this slight glowing look, or maybe it's just reflecting the light. You don't quite know. But yeah, it's a drink.
Just give it a stir. You can see the chemical reactions occurring right there in front of you. Gives
I'll
off a
press
little
the
bit of a glow.
digitate it to make it taste like root beer and then just begin sipping at it.
Does prestidigitation fix texture?
It does. It can if I do more than one thing, I think. But
You take the first drink, and then like it comes to your mind that you should probably fix the texture as well.
okay, it looks like I can change the flavor, and that's about it in terms of changing things
Can I
regarding.
make an arcana check to try to see what he's casting?
Yeah, sure, you can make an arcana check.
Oh, sorry, I rolled the GM. I should turn this back.
The texture is kind of interesting. It almost like tastes like you're drinking some weird mixture of sand water. Would be the best way to describe it. There are lots of small particulates in it. It doesn't taste bad. It just feels very weird in the mouth.
Does it not taste bad because I changed the flavor, or because
That's why it doesn't taste bad. Yeah, it's because he fixed the flavor. The barkeep looks very impressed by the fact that you're even drinking it. He did not expect that when he brought it over. Chris, with your 21 Arcana check, yes, I'd say that you knew that he cast Prestidigitation to adjust the flavor, because to you it doesn't need fixing. It's just adjustment.
Didn't want to be rude, you know. I figured you bought me the drink. Let me drink it. I wasn't sure what it would taste like.
You don't have to. You don't have to. But I will admit, I am impressed. You're keeping down the liquor rather well. A lot better than I did my first time. Let me tell you.
We'll see how long that lasts. Let me know if you need me to make a con save.
So, pretending to have a friendly conversation, are we? The type that people like to watch, are you then?
Well, we just got done, like, getting here, and the trip over was quite the eventful debacle.
Oh, were you the ones that arrived on that delayed train?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
that
that's a
must have been
whole
some
story there. Oh,
And
indeed,
people were wondering where the hell that thing was. You know, it's cutting line tech. They thought that it had been stolen.
It almost was. Funny that you say that. It almost was.
What an adventure you must be having.
It's actually a couple of my friends are here. Acquaintances. I only just met them.
Wouldn't mind introducing me to them, would you?
Oh, of course not.
It wouldn't be a bother.
Let me see if I can spot them.
Meanwhile,
I don't know if they've
Shade
gone.
has been trying to like touch Kailash's hair in like a not obvious way.
In a not okay. Let me see. Let me roll perception to see if I see what's happening.
Yeah, roll. Sure, you can roll a perception check, and Ink, you could roll a sleight of hand to see how stealthy you are.
That's gonna be hard to
my
beat.
goodness.
I am a cleric.
Oh. You think that you're stealthy because you're just standing behind him, and then you figured out that like humans can actually feel when you're touching their hair, so you don't actually have any concern. So you're just basically just grabbing and pulling Kailash's hair.
Hey, are you trying to harvest me?
What? No. Oh, you felt that.
I hear there's a dreadful trade of organs going around cities like this. You can never be too safe. You're not one of them, are you?
Do organics consider their hair an organ?
You know, that's a fascinating question. I'm not really a doctor. I don't know what organs are. I just kind of knew they were. I think if it's on the inside, it's an organ. So the hair wouldn't be an organ. And the skin, definitely not an organ either.
Well,
But
I don't know of any markets for non-organs.
that
I
is
just really wish I
exactly.
had hair.
Oh, well. We
You've
can get you
noticed
a wig.
you do notice that Shade has like these like sort of fastened like cloths to their head to like try and resemble hair.
I mean, I do like what you have going on there. Did you make that yourself?
Oh yes. I knit in my spare time.
That's quite a handy talent. We can get you a wig if you want, made from real human hair. Or any species, I assume. You can probably take your pick. Is that something you'd be interested in? It will help you disguise yourself as well if you want to be sneaky like.
Oh, absolutely. If there's a store that specializes in selling hair, count me in.
You know, and if you're
You
one of the harvesting types, maybe try not to do it on your friends, but on your enemies instead. Perhaps we can make it a ritual that after every battle, you shave the heads of your enemies and keep their hair to weave into a magnificent wig of your own.
Shade takes a note. Scalp enemies.
Speaking of, it seems like our friend is kind of forgotten about us and has made a new best friend. I have to say I'm a little saddened by that. I thought we were getting close. I guess it's just you and me then.
Okay.
Yuri looks over in your direction and is just like, I'm really glad I didn't walk over there for some reason.
I just shoot him a stink eye like you'll wish you were back here.
He is walking towards you. He's just glad he wasn't over there.
Oh, hi, best friend.
Oh, we're best friends now. Okay. Hi. This is Torque, fellow patron of the bar. It's very friendly. Bought me a
Howdy,
drink.
folks. This one here, I bought him a drink and he had one of mine. I'm impressed.
That's just like our best friend, you know. Always up to the task. He did introduce us as best friends, right? Because that is
Oh, of
what we
course.
all are. I
Said that
just
even though you had met just barely recently, you were getting along as if you were blood brothers.
I bet we'll get along real well too. What's your story? You are quite a specimen, aren't you?
Oh, I'm just a turtle. Though I don't blame you for not seeing you. We're not exactly native around these parts. Name's Torque.
Nice to meet you. I am Kai. Kailash, but you can call me Kai for short.
Nice to meet you, Kailash, and I do appreciate the first name basis of Kai. So,
I get a good feeling from you. We're going to get to be best of friends.
I'm Shade.
rather aggressive one, isn't he? Not that I
I
don't mind. I don't mind.
I don't have blood or a brother, but that could change.
That indeed could change. Excuse me for asking, but are you a warforged?
I believe that's the correct terminology. Yes.
Fascinating. I labor in my shops studiously as anyone, but I could never, ever hope to achieve a level of craftsmanship such as you.
I think he's hating on you.
No,
He's
no,
trying
heavens, no.
to hit me. Shade like gets defensive.
I just think you're an impressive specimen also. You must
Thanks.
forgive
Also,
me my
Shade,
fascination with machines. It is my life's work.
To clarify, a blood brother does not. You do not need to take somebody's blood or somebody's
Yuri,
brother
how
to have
many
a blood
times?
brother.
How many times? Shade is bad with sarcasm, okay?
I mean, being sarcastic. He'll continue to drink the dragon's blood. Like, good lord.
The more that the conversation goes on, the dragon ale is starting to taste better and better.
This is some good stuff, my friend. Thank you so much.
I would also love a drink.
Likewise, I'll have what he's having.
Oh. Well, I never thought I'd get this many people on Dragon Ale, and most folks don't want to even touch this stuff.
Oh, how bad could it be?
You'll
Just
find
wait
out.
till you feel the texture of it.
The barkeep here is like slightly overhearing that end of the conversation. It's just like shakes his head.
I've often wondered if a Warforged could get drunk. Certainly not on mere alcohol. No.
It hasn't happened yet, but I'm trying.
Would you like to try a little harder?
Yes.
I'll go back over to the barkeep and try to throw together a concoction based on my knowledge of machines of something that could gunk up the works similar to alcohol on a biological brain. Spike oil. I don't know if I have to roll for that or what.
Yeah, you would definitely have to roll because it's not an easy feat. I don't actually know what roll because base 5e does not have like a mechanics check.
Yeah. Some sort of intelligence, I would imagine.
I think a mechanics check is like a medicine, but for intelligence.
Yeah.
Just
roll
make
straight intelligence.
Yeah, just make a straight int check.
I could also make an int saving throw. It's like similar to a proficiency bonus, but for int. Like I work with machines. If there was a mechanic skill, I would.
Yeah, you're an
choose it as
artificer.
a
Yeah,
skill.
sure. Yeah, yeah, that's fine. You can make a int saving throw because that way you just have
Not that great,
proficiency.
just a 13. Slightly above average.
You try. You're not entirely certain what you're doing or what you're trying to like go for, because like you could make something that causes a machine to like not function quite well, but not anything that can like really reproduce the effects of just a biological person being drunk. But you make something.
Well,
You're not certain what it is.
I'm not 100% sure what this is going to do, but like any good experiment, you have to start somewhere. So let me know how this goes. Tell me about your experiences, and based on that, I might get better at making this new. Gotta come up with a name for it. Forged ale, I think I'll call it. That's a good name. Just think of what this could be if it works. Anyways, here you go.
Happy to be of service, and they just chug the whole thing.
Can Shade make a Constitution saving throw, please?
Oh
Yes.
boy.
I would love to. Roll 20.
Oh, nice.
Ayy.
You think in theory it could have done something to you, but not realistically. There's also something going off in your head that if like somebody other than a Warforged drank this, they would probably die, as it's quite toxic to like organic life forms.
Well, it tastes almost successful, but I wouldn't recommend drinking it as an organic.
Yeah, I did add cyanide. Probably not great advice for my organic customers.
I'm sorry.
Ah.
Where did you get cyanide?
That's what that taste is. Refreshing.
I mean, it's the best way to get a flavor of almonds. I mean, actual almond extract can cause rust. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Actually, wait. I
I'm
would need
pretty
a
sure
tongue
it's
to
just the
taste.
scent of almonds that's on cyanide.
a lot
No,
of
I've
a lot of
heard they
taste is
say it
in
tastes
scent.
like almonds, but I wouldn't know. I work with machines, not poisons. The cyanide's actually used in mining. That's why I have some. Quite a large mine back on my home island.
Is cyanide used when the mine collapses and the miners and then he imitates like someone drinking something?
No, most definitely not. I mean, under the company's leadership, sure, but not anymore. We drove them off the island for now.
The company?
Yeah, they kept talking about being a great asset, making profits for investors back on the mainland. It was a problem. Smell of fire and brimstone, spoke infernal. Definitely devilish
Hey, well,
company.
there's
if you
nothing
take my
wrong with
meaning.
speaking infernal.
Sorry, that's my past. I don't need to bore you with it. But yeah, glad we're getting there. I'll have something better for you next time, Shade.
I look forward to it. They smashed the bottle on the floor.
Now I'm gonna have to
I
clean that
don't-
up. That's just not necessary. Just-
Is that not what you're supposed to do when you
Mm.
finish a drink?
No.
I'll put my glass on the floor and break it under my foot.
Oh my god.
I am
I'll
receiving
try to
mixed
cast
signals.
mending on these things
Yuri
to
can
no
act-
avail. If they're completely broken, I can't actually fix it. I think only fix like a single break.
Oh, really? Oh no, then yeah, you can't. Yeah, you can't fix it. They were shattered. So the cup that Torque stepped on just like actually vanished. You don't even see pieces of it. It's just gone.
It's quite the magic trick.
It's just glass. Not that expensive. Don't worry, barkeep. I'll pay you the cost of the glasses.
I'll clean
Yeah.
up the glass with prestidigitation.
Appreciate it, my friend. You're quite the magician.
Sorcerer, actually, but close
Sorcerer.
enough.
Sorry, excuse me. I get all your magics mixed up.
Fine. Even I have a hard time keeping track.
You wouldn't be a warlock then, would you?
Uh, yes, though not by choice.
Sorlock. I might have something for you. We should talk later.
That is
Yes.
the second time someone has said that to us today.
Oh, who was the first? I don't. If I'm not prying.
Oh, there was this guy that very, very overtly bumped into me, said, "You're being watched, and we'll talk later," and then left.
Well,
Yeah.
now is later. If you want to talk, I don't want to interrupt your celebrations.
Does that mean
Oh,
that
no
later
interruption.
is now? Or is later later? Or is now now?
Does that
I
mean later will never
assume-
come?
I assume he meant closer to closing time if there is one
There
to
we
this
go.
tavern.
Wow, that's a lot of information you took out of "we'll talk later."
Well, I mean, the assumption there is he does not want to speak publicly, and once the establishment closes, then, there's less prying ears, prying eyes, and you're able to speak a bit more freely. But, I'm just guessing.
You take a lot from words. Is this what happens when you're fluent in sarcasm?
I'm not being sarcastic.
I think you could teach me a lot about sarcasm and like trying
Oh.
to be like reassuring. We'll pat Yuri on the back.
He'll hand you this piece of paper that says, "Don't break other people's hands. Don't break the glass unless it's an emergency," and things of that nature.
Shade
Haven't
is just
been the best of
reciting these
sarcasm.
things.
Just please commit those to memory.
Okay. Shall we meet that fellow in his room since it is technically later?
I don't know that we know where his room is.
Well, if we knock on all the rooms, we can figure it out.
This is called
Continues
process of
to sip
elimination.
the dragon ale. Let me know when you need a con save.
So earlier on, Zeno, you mentioned that I recognized this guy from being one of the rebel cells. Could I roll to see if I know which one he is?
You haven't been here for a ton of time, so I will
No.
say yes, but it will be with disadvantage. Make a history check.
History check with disadvantage.
Swap back over to public rolls as well if you haven't already.
Back over to public. History,
Yep.
history. There it is. 9.
No, you really don't. You just know that he avoids the guards and that he is wanted for a couple of crimes, but you don't actually know what he is, who he's associated with.
Gotcha. Don't really have any information I could pass on then.
Not really. Other than the
I don't
fact that
think
they're
our
wanted
group
for
would know.
espionage and
Yeah.
thievery.
The three of us likely wouldn't know that info, so that is something that could be passed along.
Yeah, I'll pass it along. I mean, the man you are going to meet with is somewhat of the dangerous sort, which I must say is the only kind of people who are really worth meeting with in the first place.
Dangerous how?
Wanted for a couple of crimes. Crimes committed for the better good of the people, of course, I assume.
You seem to be reasonably
Okay.
well versed with this person. Would you like to tag along while we try to get to the bottom of this? You do seem like quite the good sort, and you are our new best friend, so it seems only fair.
Well, I mean, as they say, best friends stick together, so I'd be more than happy to come along. And if things go south, he'll mount. You'll just notice there's this giant cannon attached to his back. We always have hammer.
Hammer the
Impressive.
cannon.
Yes, turns anything into a nail.
I like that a lot.
So when you fire it, is that the same as dropping the hammer?
Yeah.
One might even call it hammer time.
Uh,
Well, now I know what I'm gonna say every single time I activate my 1 hour long
Stop.
hammer time.
Let's please not do anything to get the stream copyrighted.
Saying the words hammer time is enough to get a stream copyrighted. I don't know.
No, saying the words is fine. I think that even if like it was sung, I think it'd be fine because I think that like counts as like karaoke. So, but yeah, I think that you just technically can't play the song, but that's neither
If
here
they
nor there.
copyright my awful singing voice, I'm going to demand damages.
Yeah, I was gonna say bold of you to assume that any of us could sing well enough for the algorithm to pick it up in the first place.
True.
Oof, but probably true.
Hey, I don't know. Maybe some of you are like expert singers. I don't know.
There is also still the issue. The strange figure in the window outside.
Oh yeah, did they make any moves?
They seem to have pivoted.
Above game.
They seem to have pivoted slightly. Or sorry, what?
Oh, I was saying above game, like have they made any movements?
Yeah.
Like that isn't Yuri asking, that's just me asking.
Yeah, they look like they've pivoted slightly, but that they still haven't really left.
They appear to still be there.
Well, as long as they don't know that we know that they're there, we should be able to move without worrying of an ambush.
Well, that also
Probably.
begs the question, do we want to talk to the man who warned us we were being watched, or do we want to talk to the man who is watching us?
I assume the person warning us has less in the way of ill intent, but I'm also just basing that off of a gut feeling more than anything.
If we go directly to the source, we might be able to get a more clear answer rather than speculation. As in-
Yes, that is a possibility. There is also the strong possibility that there are more of them that we maybe cannot see, and therefore we'd be walking into a death trap. But that is also a gut feeling more than anything based on fact. So,
Otherwise known as an assumption, which I'm told
yes.
makes an ass out of you and me.
It's a fair thing to say.
I believe the saying is it makes an ass out of you, leave me out of it.
I don't think I've heard that one. I'll be honest with you.
Well, maybe it's just me then.
I am curious either way. And I think we should pick a direction.
All right. Kai, make the call.
I agree. The person upstairs most likely has less intent, and they expressly wished to have a chat with us. We should probably make good on that. Plus, not a lot of friendly faces around. I'd like to keep them as friendly as possible.
All right, then let's make our way to wherever the hell that guy went.
Okay, new best friend time.
All right. So you do know that he went upstairs. There is a limited amount of rooms. Are you going to try to track him down in any way? Or are you just going to play rounds of elimination until you get to the correct door?
I'm not an intelligence-based class, so my investigation is garbage.
I have a decent investigation, but I don't know how I'd turn that into helping us here.
I
You
have
can-
a -1 investigation.
Twinsies.
The two most militant.
Well, you do have perceptions, or maybe you could
Oh yeah.
perceive something.
I would
That's
say
true.
perception isn't really useful in this case.
Okay. That's
And that, and then investigation's primarily the thing you would want to use. But yeah.
Can I detect magic, and maybe that can give us a hint?
Yeah, you wanna
Oh,
try
wait. Someone's rolling. Oh, it didn't go
Ooh,
well.
the 9. Low
Okay.
rolls for Torque.
Not bad.
Oh, plus 0, 17. Let's go.
Hey, that's not
Okay.
bad.
Yeah, the 17 investigation is gonna reveal some stuff. Are you also wanting to get detect magic up, or
Nah, I'll leave it to Yuri for now.
All right. Yuri can kind of track down. He kind of remembers what part of the house he was walking to. And you can kind of deduce it down to the right door. So you feel pretty confident that you know which room is his.
I will knock on the door that I'm assuming is his.
You hear footsteps. Someone approaches the door. It takes them a couple seconds. Oh, no, actually, it takes them a little more than a couple seconds. You hear a response. Please wait a moment.
Does
Then
that voice
after-
sound like the voice we heard earlier?
It is, yes.
Okay.
Do we hear music playing through the door, like bad hold music?
No.
Is there a sock on the knob?
The boss fight starts playing.
Nah, man, I start playing the Jeopardy music.
Da, 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 da.
Dun,
Uh,
dun, dun, dun.
Copyright strike number 2.
It's like, let's speedrun getting coffee struck.
I'm glad we don't have the music bot up today.
Oh, that's right. If we use the music bot, it would have to
Oh.
be like royalty free.
Yeah, all of the things we've been using have not been royalty free. Remember when we heard the Lion King sound?
Yeah, that's fair.
playing?
Copyright
Yeah.
struck by Disney. I'm sorry, guys. We can't stream our games anymore. Disney found us.
Hey, it's Twitch has like a 3-strike policy, so we can be struck 3 times and we're fine. So we can play.
Well, no, that's only if you're a mid-sized streamer.
I mean,
Oh.
I appreciate you're willing to risk your entire
True.
streaming account for the Lion, for us being able to hear the Lion King during our post like battle credits fight scene. But
Commitment.
All right. No, you don't hear any bad elevator music going on from the other side. It does take him about a minute after saying, "Please give a moment." But then you will see same person that you saw before, a little bit less cloaked, but still very, very heavily obscured. And he will let you into his quite cluttered and room. Let me get the handout, which I should have had.
Need some help cleaning this up.
What a mess. Shade will start folding things
No.
immediately.
He almost immediately goes into a panic. No, don't touch anything. Everything is where it's supposed to be.
But
Everything.
you obviously require assistance.
No, I do not.
Are you telling me this underwear belongs on the floor?
There actually is no clothes, except for like a couple cloaks. This does not look like somewhere he lives. It looks like a office, with a giant bed that's been pushed out of the way. Handout. There we go.
Aha.
It's you.
He beckons you all to come in the room, and then he locks the door behind you.
2 Warforged in one day, unless that is one hell of a mask.
No, I am Warforged.
You wanted
When
to
you're free
speak
sometime,
to
let
us?
me know if I can get you drunk. We have this bit of this thing going. Me and Shade, you know, we're looking for more test subjects. No, sorry, continue. I'm interrupting.
With
Fine.
what? I have your payment. He goes to a small chest and he pulls out what seems to be a bag of gold, as well as a small amulet of a ticking clock. He hands them over. He hands them over to you all.
Anyone in particular?
Technically, he puts it on the table and just expects one of you to grab it.
And what might this payment be for? I mean, we know we perform so many favors and things for people that it can be difficult to keep track. Yes, if you could remind us.
Make a deception check.
Oh boy.
See, you're always fine until you bring up inconsistencies with the story.
Oh no!
No.
You'll have to forgive my friend's memory. He ordered the same one as me. Can I also roll a deception or persuasion check?
Sure. You could also roll one to salvage it. You didn't roll high on his insight check. You rolled higher than a 6, but if you can cover the average, if your roll will beat the average with Kailash's. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
brilliant.
You should not let your working companions drink on the job, then.
Sorry, my bad. We were celebrating a recent success. Didn't expect to be put back into the fray so soon. Gotta live a little.
I saw you all riding in on the train. I presume that the heist was completed, and the delivery was made. That's what this is for, and the agency will be in contact when they next have a mission.
What agency are you referring to?
Make a deception check.
Ooh, -1.
I would like to state that this is the Warforged in question that I was trying to make drunk. I don't know if I
Lovely.
can
boy.
salvage twice. Let me know if I can try.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I'm just
Rolls
sitting
have
back,
been-
not engaging with it.
Rolls have been bad all around. Like, bad guy, like that 22 persuasion, the 17 investigation, those are great. But like,
Really hot and cold in this Roll20 chat here.
yeah, I should start doing public rolls, not GM rolls. That way we can laugh at their rolls as well. He hasn't rolled great, an 8 and a 2. Yeah, he seems very like skeptical of what Shay is saying, but doesn't outright question it. The agency which you were hired for, or technically you weren't hired for it. He gestures to Yuri. You were. I'd imagine that they're your lackeys.
They're not.
Friends then? Associates? Friends?
Sure. That's
Best friends,
friends.
actually.
Best
Yes,
friends.
best friends. Okay, maybe I'm having a memory lapse as well. I also drank that same ale. None of this is sounding remotely familiar. This is Yuri
Y-
being.
You were hired to infiltrate and hijack one of the trains that was coming to Eraheim.
The train
I-
made it here. Albeit
Yes,
missing
but it made a
a
pit
couple of
stop.
carts.
Are you not saying that you were responsible for that?
I was.
Torque
We
rolls to
were.
look over. Yeah,
We
are
were
you
very
responsible
responsible for that.
That's what you were being paid for.
Who? Who's paying us?
The agency.
We haven't received the name of this agency yet.
Here, let me try this. I'll cast message to him. You want to just they can't hear you, and neither can anybody else unless they have high level magic. You can tell me what you're talking about now. Again, I'm very drunk.
Almost gets like a look of irritation on his face. But he goes over to the door, pulls out a key, twists it, and instead of unlocking the door, the entire room starts to morph and shift. Until it looks a lot more like some type of pseudo-destroyed laboratory than it did an in-room.
Do we all see this?
You all see this, yes.
Okay.
You want to know how he did that? We'll get to that in a moment.
Where did
I'm
you
still waiting for his response.
teleport us to? What?
Where you are currently is not an issue.
I really shouldn't have had that much to drink.
What is an issue is that you could be caught up in things that you really shouldn't be, and I'm misreading it because for some reason you have something that you shouldn't.
Not you talking about this? Pull out the blade.
That's one of three things, yes.
Okay, and what are the other two?
The other one is a mark that was cast on the person that was being hired. Excuse me. One second. Sorry, it was just the two
should
things. I said three things. That was just out of habit because I typically have three things. It's just the two things. It's that you have the dagger and you're marked. That's it.
I'm marked since when?
I don't know when you
that's
were
an-
marked, but
That was an out of game. Like, when did I get marked?
you're not entirely certain. You also don't know what he means by why you're marked.
Huh.
Well,
Okay,
that
yeah, I'm gonna need you to tell me in clearer terms what is this mark you're referring to? We got the train
Uh,
here. Granted, missing the cart. Have the blade, but I don't know anything about this mark.
This is all
I
still
do know
in
something about
private,
it.
right?
You can
don't
all
remember.
hear this, or he's been talking
Yeah.
openly at least. Yeah.
Mhm. If he spoke like out loud, ignoring the message back and forth, then I would just be speaking out loud as well. I
The
assume
mess-
he
the
ensured
mess-
privacy.
Yeah, the message is what got him to be like, okay, all right, I'm gonna shift room and we're gonna figure this out now. I'm not going to go in depth because too much of that is confidential. But there is an arcane mark that we put on our agents. I have one on me. You have one on you. Your friends all have one, except for your turtle friend, turtle best friend. That signifies that you can be read by our other agents out in the field, so you can be recognized.
I see.
I now see that this was a misunderstanding.
At least to some degree.
Well, you see, in order for you to know if this is a misunderstanding, you need to know who placed the mark. I don't imagine your organization makes mistakes like that often. For each member here to have both completed your mission and delivered the goods you were expecting to you, this sounds like something that's worked exactly as expected. Perhaps their lack of knowledge was intentional. You'll forgive me. I have a little bit of a background in the theory of rebel networks. Hi, the name's Torque. I've led a rebel network before. This looks like it was more successful than it could have otherwise. Imagine the perfect heist, right? If you could have thieves that didn't know who they were working for and couldn't reveal any information if captured, yet still completed the job perfectly. Wouldn't that be ideal?
Oh my god.
You know what? Make a performance
Can't-
check. You know what?
I
Or a
can't
persuasion check.
rule
Make a
this
persuasion
out.
check. Like,
Can I back him up?
Yeah, you could make one as well. Yeah, you could just try to gaslight this guy. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
He seems to actually be considering it. Those are decent rolls. He actually has to roll against that.
I didn't even know if it was gaslighting. I thought there was a significant chance it's actually what happened.
Yeah, that was like a full-on hypothesis.
And I
Yeah.
mean, this Torque's just guessing.
But he believes like quite the opposite and has evidence to doubt, and you're just like, screw your evidence. Like, we clearly know
needs it?
better.
Well, no, the argument we're trying to make is we don't know anything. And that
Shades
was
of
the
Blade.
plan.
The
It's
plan
just a
all
dial
along
tone.
is how we don't know anything. Oh God.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry, it didn't quite work out in your favor.
Well, that insight check will
Um,
reveal that Torque believes everything he just said. He wasn't trying to gaslight.
And,
Yeah.
and Yuri does not really know what to believe.
Shade's brain is just a dial tone.
See, the best part of this
New
insight check is
superpower
all he can
unlocked
figure out
gaslighting.
is we don't know anything. And my
Yeah.
argument was, we don't know anything.
We don't
So
Yeah, you-
technically, your persuasion roll succeeded.
Anyways, that's
This
just hilarious.
is true. By him succeeding his insight check, he knows that you're telling the truth. He doesn't seem quite convinced that, and will voice it. While that is possible, I'm sure that the agency would have contacted me about it. I'm very sorry for this misunderstanding. I am going to return you back to the tavern, and you're free to leave.
Well,
Okay, do you want to tell us about the people outside? You
Yes.
mentioned they were watching us. Do you know anything about that?
I didn't actually know they were outside. I just knew that you were being followed.
Oh, okay, yeah, they've been
presumed
watching
that you
from,
were
like,
being
across
followed
the way.
because that could be investigated. But I presumed that you were being followed because you were working with us.
well, we noticed our tail, and you being so not forthcoming with information really only leads us down one avenue, which is to approach them. perhaps if, you were to explain to us what the situation is, we would know what we're going out into. And we might not divulge anything you may not want us to divulge.
But you can't divulge the information originally if you don't have it.
They think we're one of your agents, and we know what happened on that train. I assume information is power, correct?
That's generally correct, yes.
We can keep our mouths shut about any possible nefarious dealings if you just explain to us what's going on.
I just want to emphasize your argument here is you
Yes.
should give us more information.
Yes.
So we don't tell them the information we
Yes.
already
Give us
know.
the information we need to not give away your
Exactly.
information.
Just saying.
It's perfect.
There's political uprising happening in Eraheim. That's it. Any other information I'm not able to give you.
Oh, you couldn't tell us what the uprising is about. I mean, if it's some like whiny noble like trying to consolidate more power for his like conglomerate, then I mean, but if it's like a uprising of the people, uprising can mean a lot of different things.
Too much power has been centralized in Eraheim, and the other regions are suffering for it.
I know we don't work for you, but could we? I kind of like your style.
Do you have a manifesto we could perhaps read over?
A pamphlet.
Where's the Communist Manifesto? I need to read it.
Okay, I'm just gonna interject here real quick. So, was the plan to just hijack the train, or to steal the whole thing?
The plan was to make a delivery. Not to hijack it, or to steal it permanently. Just to temporarily misdirect it.
Alright, so tell you what. You let my friends here out of this room and I'll explain to you what happened.
You want to send your best friends away?
How
Because I don't want you to
dare you.
potentially die if this gets
Look,
ugly.
my life's my own to risk.
What if you potentially die?
Yeah, what about
So
you?
that's a
What about
risk
your
I'm
safety?
taking with my own life rather than yours.
Shade sits down on the floor.
Oh my god.
I'll sit down now.
I weigh approximately 257 pounds.
I weigh 450. Together we
All
form
right.
Ultron. We shall
Kai,
not
do you want to stick around too for story time with Yuri?
You can sit on my lap. It's not very comfortable.
All right. Well, if nobody's leaving, I'm just gonna throw my hands up and be like, "Minor illusion. Here's the events that went down."
Well, but before story time, may I ask, do you have any theories on how these marks happen to appear on us? Could they accidentally be placed there? Could it be residual or spillage of magic? Do you have any theories?
Somebody that knows how to apply the mark and has the mark applied to them would have had to cast it on you.
See, this supports
It
my theory, but my
was not
theory
accidental.
apparently is gaslighting. What do I know?
It's gaslighting because it's not technically true.
And
But
before, okay,
you're
I'll
trying
take
to
a seat.
gaslight yourself into thinking that it's true,
Well,
so that you can more
legitimately
successfully
thought-
gaslight
I
him
thought
into
I'd
thinking it's
cracked the
true.
Can I
Matrix there.
persuade myself?
I guess I just gaslit myself.
Can I
Can I roll
auto-fail my
persuasion on
insight
myself?
check? So I believe this better.
Hey, my charisma's higher than my insight.
I'll take a seat as well, but before I do, I'd like to, because I think I have message as well as one of my racial thingies. What is it? Mind link, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to just quickly telepathically speak to Yuri and say just, I worry that the mage and his compatriot that we killed may be the agents that these people hired. Maybe play your cards carefully when telling them that we murdered them by ramming into them with our train.
Here's exactly what happened.
And
Oh,
I'll
wait.
respond with, "That's kind of why." I was asking for you all to leave the room.
I am above
It-
game reminding you, Shade does not know how to lie.
Right, and that's why I'm asking you to leave the room.
We're in this together, best
Come
friend.
on, honesty is the best
Let's go,
policy.
bestie.
I am playing a very morally, like, at worst, neutral character. Not a huge fan of lying when he doesn't need to. So, this is difficult.
You show him the sequence. This is actually quite concerning.
Because we
Because
screwed up the plan, or because the plan never went into effect in the first place?
the plan never worked in the first place. That dagger
Okay.
is one of our agent's daggers, the agent that was supposed to be on that train, but that wizard is not our agent. Which means that that dagger was stolen from him before he was able to get there. Before they were able to get there.
This does seem to be some form of packed weapon, so it makes sense that it didn't belong to the wizard. Okay, so the plan never happened in the first place. The train arrived. The luggage compartment is missing. Is that where what you were looking for was? Because if so, that is probably a ways back, still on the track somewhere, unless another party has gone to retrieve it.
No, what we were hoping was that the train would have an item delivered with it, and it had that item delivered with it. It wasn't in any cart that was detached. It also wasn't stored in the back.
So,
But
your organization received what they needed.
yes,
Okay.
it's just the person on the return trip wasn't the same, according to this minor illusion, at least.
What did
Then
your
I believe we
organization
both
need?
have a problem here.
That is.
Your organization marked us without us knowing why, and someone else ruined their plans.
I will have to get into contact to figure more out about this and to find out who marked you. I could unmark you if you would prefer, or I could leave you marked. But I will
Is
be
this? Can
telling
you make this
everyone
mark
else.
visible? I'd like to see what it looks like.
Could I make it visible? Can Mirage make it visible? No.
It just says hammer time.
No, Mirage is not. Mirage is not skilled enough to make it visible. I cannot make it visible.
That's a shame.
All right, so I will say we are a bit short on funds. We did make sure that the train got here, so if you'd be okay with us still taking that payment, I think that'd be great.
Payment is still yours, I suppose. A gift given cannot be rescinded.
All right.
Shade writes that down.
No, don't write that down. You already did it. Okay.
Cannot be rescinded.
Yeah, I'll take the pouch, and yeah. Oh, clockwork amulet. That's so sick. I'll
two
chuck
things he hands over.
the gold over to divide between Shade and Kai, and I'll hang on to the amulet because it looks cool.
50 divided
If
by 2
that's
is
okay.
25.
That's some very good maths.
Ooh, wait, this is cool.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, clockwork amulets can be kind of techy. Yes, clocks are canon because there's a clockwork amulet. There we
And
go.
I am a clockwork
To
soul.
reiterate the answer from before.
Yeah,
I am the origin of all clocks. Thank you.
I will make it canon.
But yes, so okay. We now have it sorted as to what exactly is going on involving yourself and us. The next question is this dagger was clearly taken from someone who may possibly still be alive. Seeing as it hasn't dissipated or lost its magic. Pretty sure I wouldn't be able to keep it around with just some cheap water. Is this a concern of yours?
It is, but we will need to focus our priorities here in the city before we can send an agent out. Knowing that this mage got access to one of the daggers means that they're quite competent, and not someone we can just send an agent for immediately for risk of losing someone else.
Well, would you look at that? You have a quest that you need to be fulfilled, and it'll take bureaucracy to get it done. And here you have us, fresh recruits willing to get paid to do things. I think we have a shared interest here.
I could start up a quest if you all want to continue down this path. I will need a moment to find out what funding I can allocate to you, but
It could help. I mean, obviously, this group requires money, but I came to this city in desperate need of allies. If there's any aid I could render your rebel cell here, maybe someday in the future your rebel cell could return the favor. For my payment part, at least. I can't speak for the rest of this group. I just met them, even though we are best friends.
I will not ask for... Oh. I will not ask for an immediate answer, but I will see if we can find a lead very quickly, as well as what payment I can offer you, and I will come back on the morrow.
Exciting. I came to the city for new opportunities, and I think this hits the mark.
Well, I will be back at this tavern at around the same time tomorrow, if that works for all of you.
Yes. One last thing I would like to ask. If you know of anyone who could identify whoever the heck was tailing us, that'd be appreciated. We are going to be speaking with some folks from the train crew, like from the station, the officers, regarding the events that transpired. But I have no idea what that other party that's tailing us wants beyond that.
We could go ask them.
We could, but I get the feeling that we're mixed up in something that could cause us more trouble if we were to be too direct.
We could send
That is
someone.
why we should be 3 direct.
Agreed. There are 4 of us now, however.
I miss Micah.
Who?
Some hand. You gotta love them.
The best.
I can send. We can send an agent to try to find out more about them when we have someone open. At the moment, I don't know anything about them personally. I just always avoid people that are following me. And I thought that you would want to know.
No, it's appreciated. It's definitely appreciated. I just have no idea what they want, so I'm a little bit on edge about it. Thank you for your assistance.
I'm sorry for this confusion, but I do appreciate your willingness to work with us.
Hey, if confusion leads to opportunity, sign me up for confusion anytime.
I'll keep that in mind.
Do you know how to reach us? Should you need us? When you need us, I should say.
I said that I would meet you here tomorrow at the same time.
Okay. We will be here because we are very punctual, and that is one of the things that make us such great employees, contractors,
Great asset.
great assets.
Great assets.
No, you'll give Torque flashbacks.
I feel like there's at least 2 people in this party who get non-flashbacks already, which is incredible.
Yuri's gonna develop a drinking problem.
I mean, you did order what I had.
Okay, but he will take the key, he will turn it again, the room will slowly shift. It takes about a minute for it to shift between things, and it looks back like it's the cluttered tavern inn room. And he will unlock the door normally to allow you all out.
All right. Well, I guess we will be seeing you tomorrow. Let's make our way to our designated room or rooms. I don't think we asked for the details on our lodging.
I
Should
mean,
probably do that.
They
we
rented
could
you
knock
separate
on every
rooms, yeah.
we could knock on every door until someone doesn't respond, and then that'll be ours.
Or we could just talk to the barkeeper.
Yes,
That-
I think that makes sense.
I'm fine. I'm just caught up in the moment. Okay, that was a lot of fun.
Oh,
Well,
and Yuri,
just-
since we're going to be working together, before I forget, take this one on the house.
Oh, brilliant! Thank you.
Thank
That's
you,
very
so,
generous of you, my friend.
casting
And we've only
spells.
just met. I'm grateful beyond words.
Well, we are best friends after all. What's a little bit of gratitude between friends? Don't mention it. This is the best lead I've had in months.
Are you a detective?
Oh no, sorry. I've just been looking for allies, fellow rebel cells. Haven't had much luck. I've just been keeping my nose to the gear, working in some machine shops around town. And just decided to spend one night at this tavern. And bumped into you guys, bumped into this rebel cell, and yeah, we're off to the races. Serendipity. Something.
Brilliant.
Giggity, I agree.
I
God damn it.
do believe that we should at least share a room between essentially take 2 rooms with 2 of us in each. That way we can keep an ear out, maybe take turns resting
Keeping watch.
in case. Essentially, yes.
I don't technically need to sleep, so
Nor do I.
What sounds like that's exactly how we should split the rooms then.
Okay, Torque, I'll let you decide who would you prefer to bunk with.
Okay. Do you mind, Shade?
oh yes, our us metalheads need to stick together.
Well, while I may claim to have a
Alright.
mind for gears, I do technically do need my sleep, so I do appreciate you keeping watch.
I lied.
What?
Well, we can take turns. It's It's fine. I'll take the first.
Oh, you do actually need to sleep?
I do need to sleep. I don't need
I'll
to
take the
dream. I
first
didn't.
4
I didn't read.
hours.
I didn't read my trait well enough. The first thing it says is that we do sleep.
Kailash sleep, but they don't connect to the planes of dreams. Oh, okay.
Wow.
A partial elf feature, but not really.
Right.
That
Yeah,
is
I'll
a
take
line
first
though.
watch.
Immune specifically to dream spell, but not sleep spell. Huh.
It's,
Sorry
I
in the
just,
chat.
I want to start using this line like IRL now. I need to sleep, but I don't connect to the plane of dreams as other people do.
You don't understand.
Every
I close my eyes and I feel nothing.
I close my eyes and wake up and then open them 8 hours later.
When I close my eyes, I don't see.
What's a
Oh.
sleep?
Actually, can Shade dream also? Does Shade dream? Can robots
I think you
dream?
enter a low
Do androids
energy,
dream of
like
Do androids dream? Yeah.
Electric
of electric sheep.
Oh, that's a book.
I think that you can dream, but it's from a very like mechanical sense in the fact that like our brains technically dream of like thoughts in a sense, and I think that's the same with Warforged. They just have to like manually be like, all right, this is the dream I'm going to like play in my head.
Ooh. It's just forever lucid dreaming.
Yeah.
Love it.
You must spend at least 6 hours in an inactive, motionless state rather than sleeping. In this state, you appear inert, but doesn't render you unconscious, and you can see and hear as normal.
Yeah, just vibing.
Basically, you watch Netflix for 6 hours.
It's my witching hour. My iPad kid
built-in
time.
Netflix.
Shade's an iPad
Hello,
kid.
everybody. My name is Markiplier.
Shade's got a media server built into their room.
It just plays like old-timey radio. You just
No,
hear like
you're an advanced machine. You've got Qubit torrent on there, and you're downloading Netflix.
gentle electro swing music comes from Shade every night.
Nice.
All right, you can all you all can gain the benefits of a long rest. Shade knows that nobody tried to sneak into their room in the middle of the night. The other party though, not so much, because they do need sleep. They just don't need to dream. So, but no, you all get the benefits of long rest. It's a new day. You're up and at it early. Tavern seems a little bit more active, actually. There's a lot of people are leaving. You kind of got in before the bustle, but it does seem to be quite an active tavern now that people are heading out. But it's a new day. Where are you all heading?
Waiting for either the guards or Mirage to come speak to us.
I'll stumble downstairs. I'm not hungover, not at all. Can I get a coffee barkeep?
That's what every not hungover person asks for.
Oh yes.
Do I need a con save to not have a hangover?
I think you only drank the one, right? So I think
Yeah,
you're
but I
safe at
drank
the
the whole
moment.
thing.
It's not an incredibly alcoholic drink. It
Okay.
just tastes bad.
Okay, gotcha.
That's the turnover.
I thought it was strong on top of having the texture of.
No, it tastes bad so that people think it's strong.
Okay.
Then that way they can charge more for it.
You know, I don't really drink and I'm not feeling anything. I think we may need to request a refund.
You can get drunk and not have a hangover. I mean, that's all you need.
No, but I don't think I even got wrong is the thing.
Oh. That is disappointing.
Sorry, go ahead, Zeno. My bad.
I was just saying that the person that was outside, they either left or are hidden in a new spot, but they aren't there anymore.
Just stood there all night long.
Hey, they could have. That's what guards do,
But
right?
they are also a warforged, and they just went to sleep in the street.
But yeah, they left. They're gone. Place also empties out rather quickly. But yeah, are any of you doing anything, or are you just waiting for the guards to come, like, ask for a second round of questioning?
Yeah, just hanging around, I think.
Yeah, maybe we talk a bit about like why we're in town, like what was our individual reasons for coming here, since we did not come as a group, we arrived as a group.
I go and let my shop manager know that I might be taking an extended absence for a while.
I'm going on an adventure.
It's the Bilbo moment. I'm going on an adventure.
Play the gif
I'm
of
gonna
him
go
running
become
on
a
the distance
Pokemon
of the
trainer
scroll.
now. See you later.
This is totally not my red slip or whatever they give you when you're fired.
Thankfully.
All right, you all kind of talk for a couple hours until the guards come over, and they kind of surprised that you're all like in the same area talking, or at least the guards that initially came up to talk to you, and he's like, oh great, you're all here. Garrick's here. He's currently at the office, and I was instructed to bring you all to him.
All right. Any
Who?
objections?
Bring away. Or, yes, us.
Oh, would
Oh,
you mind
and,
if my best friend came along?
Yes, I was just about to say, we made a friend. He is going to be working with us for the foreseeable future. So, if you wouldn't mind him tagging along, that'd be great.
Not entirely certain the captain would appreciate that. He can definitely come to the he can certainly come to the barracks, but I'm not certain that that the captain will want him there when he's actually asking questions.
I mean, he's generally aware of the situation. He helped us out when we got here, so
I'll smile my biggest turtle smile.
I'll make a
As if that would
persuasion or
improve my
deception check if you
chances.
need me to.
It's not necessary. You kind of already convinced him. He wasn't really like
Alright.
headstrong on like denying it. He just was also like, yeah, this kind of goes against precedent. Like we don't typically allow
Fine.
best friends, but you know, it's fine.
I'm
Yeah.
all about going against that precedent.
Yeah, screw the
Alright.
president.
I don't think this place has one of those.
When we're done, it won't anymore.
Anarchy. Woo.
Down with the bourgeoisie.
That's we were asking for him earlier.
All right, but yeah, he brings you back over. Yuri, you feel like you actually kind of recognize Garrick. You're not quite certain. You're not quite certain where you might recognize him from, but you kind of recognize how he looks. But again, you can't quite put your finger on it.
Is that for all of us?
That's only for Yuri.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Other
We'll
mysterious
try not to
characters
let
at the
it
party.
show.
Other characters that the party barely recognizes hasn't come up yet, but they will. You just need the other hidden backstory characters to be revealed. My team informed me that you all were responsible for stopping the effects on the train. Is this correct?
Are we
Yes.
getting paid for stopping it? I'm not saying this in character. Stopping it and starting it? Like, let's go.
Well-
Good job, team. Anyways, continue.
He ain't gonna pay you, but I appreciate your optimism.
Fair enough. I didn't get paid for starting or stopping. I wasn't there, but you guys did. Oh no, you're just being thanked, not getting paid.
Yeah, they're being thanked and then questioned, and then let on their way.
it may open opportunities for future jobs, but we'll see what happens.
But I heard that you had stopped them, and we're really appreciative of it. So appreciative, actually, that we wanted to offer you all a job.
How perfect. That is exactly what I came here looking for.
Our group does need to find some work. If you could tell us what this job is in some form, we'd
Of course,
be happy to talk terms.
of course I can. One of our guards noticed that you had gotten the attention of an enemy of the state. And we want to hire you to get closer to them so that we can find out their base of operations.
So here's the question: were your guys the ones that were outside the tavern following us, or was that a third party that wasn't an enemy of the state, but also was not confused?
Quite perceptive of you. Yes, that was one of our guards.
Okay.
You might want to fire him. He's not very good at sneaking around. We noticed him immediately.
Sorry,
Just
real quick. Can I make a perception check on his statement that we were perceptive, just to make sure he's not just claiming it? Just...
Yeah, you can. Yeah. It's like, I don't
I
believe you that he came
All of
recommended.
Damn.
Yeah. Technically, he was quite stealth. Damn!
Oh. There it is.
Yeah, you guys gotta stop rolling like 20s. You either roll like horrible or you roll nat 20s.
I mean, my first roll was a 26, so
yeah,
only
that
go
was
down
the
from
perception
there.
check on that stealth guy. Yeah. He's legitimately surprised that that you guys spotted him. Yeah, he is legitimately surprised. He didn't think that he would be spotted.
I have a very keen gaze, and Shade's just staring straight at him
Your stare is uncomfortable.
from 6.5 feet up.
It stares with a slight head tilt down because he is not that tall. But we want to hire you to find out their base of operations.
So I will clue you in on a bit of information that we did obtain from getting the attention of that person. There's apparently a third party that's not associated with them, who attempted to hijack that train. And by hijack, I mean steal the whole thing. If that makes a difference at all in your current situation.
It makes a slight difference, but it doesn't make a difference in this conversation.
Okay.
But I do thank you for bringing that additional information. It's good to know that their plans were disrupted slightly.
And if we were to say no, I would assume you'd just have people tail us anyway.
Well, I wouldn't suggest saying no. But at the same time, if you say no and then don't work with them, you won't be criminals. I'm not forcing you into a job, but working with them would make you enemies of the state. And if caught, would be tried as such.
Yeah,
if
I'm
you
not trying
refuse, you'd just
to-
be ignoring a great job offer.
I can't say I'm trying to lose my head just yet, so I won't refuse.
Is there payment in
But-
advance? while we ponder the decision?
No.
I'd say
don't
let's
think-
go. Let's
I
play
don't
double
think-
agents, but then I saw all those deception rules. I'm not so sure anymore.
You know, a
leave it
nice-
to me almost.
a nice- A nice bag of money might help incline us towards one particular camp.
You would be hired on as contractors. We would hire you
So
for
no
the job.
insurance then.
Well,
Out of 401k.
no 401k, no.
Oh.
But you also
Mental
wouldn't
health
have to work.
benefits?
Health benefits. We could give you
Yeah,
dental.
you know, for
Dental.
okay,
let's
you know
go.
what? That's better than what I have now.
Like it's really difficult to insure an adventurer. We could give you dental. Like,
What
Yeah, I
about
could see
if
Kai potentially
you
getting a
don't
tooth
have
knocked out.
teeth?
But you could have teeth. The dental.
Do you want
couldn't-
teeth?
Actually, does your dental
That's
plan
actually-
cover
Do I-
implants?
Do I want teeth? It like drifts off into thought.
Did you know that teeth and hair are made of the same thing?
How is this possible? Explain.
wait, what?
It's biology. Are they not? They're both
It's
keratin, aren't
keratin- No, teeth are not keratin. They're enamel.
they? Oh,
Yeah.
right.
Well, they have a
No,
layer
no, no,
of
no.
enamel.
Well, I know that in real life, but I maintain in game that teeth and hair are made of the same stuff.
Jade
Wait,
writes
what?
it down.
He is not smart enough to know the difference, so you're blowing his mind.
There is
Hair and nails.
epithelial hair keratines present in teeth.
What is an epithelial hair keratin?
I have no idea.
Welcome everybody to D&D Biology Edition.
Oh yeah, I think that's right. I don't actually know how to pronounce your username. Zyrus. Hair and nail are both made from a keratin. Keratin. Pronunciation. Yay.
Yes, absolutely.
But
Is it pronunciation or pronunciation?
oh my, this is why I dropped out of college. I couldn't handle this, man. I couldn't handle it.
Oh yes, that's my wife in the chat.
Oh, hello.
Wife.
The title she likes to go by. My wife. But yes, I don't have dental coverage, and I do need money to live, so I won't be turning down this contract.
But yes, we will hire you. We primarily want the information of their major base, but if you could also give us a list of their agents, we will hire you for each additional agent that you could prove.
Kai slowly starts to raise his hand. Do we get money per agent we turn in?
That you can prove, and that you're not just randomly name calling people.
What if I told you that we might be agents?
To
Give me our
clarify,
names.
to
Absolutely.
clarify, we were marked at some point as their agents, which is what got the attention of the agent that you saw. But we had no idea what was going on, and we stopped apparently a completely different, set of ne'er-do-wells from stealing the train. So
I was about to say, we
it's a
have come here
mess.
to their base, surrounded by guards, being hired to infiltrate. It's like, what if we told you we were also enemies of the state? Isn't this such a surprise?
What if we said, go fuck yourself?
I really wish I was a genie warlock right now. I could escape into my ring and not have to deal with this anymore. Ah.
A paycheck is a paycheck.
I'm in, and Shade's just gonna grip their hand. Like, they don't know that it's tight because they are a machine, but it's pretty freaking tight, and just start shaking it like vigorously.
They're actually, when you're shaking it, like you would usually get like some type, like you don't know that your hand is like really clasping other people's hands, but you know how hands feel. Like there's flesh and bone, but there's not. He is some sort of metallic hand. His hand is some type of prosthetic or something. You're not entirely certain, but you can't like just overpower and crush his hand. You're still stronger than him, so you can still kind of do it. You just don't get that normal feel.
I like to imagine that Shade doesn't shake their hand. Shade grabs their hand and then shakes their entire body. Just like lifts them up off the ground and puts them back down.
That would actually be
fellow humanoid.
Shade tucks that information away for later.
That was above game, but sure.
Wait, well,
I would love that to be a gag.
I actually have no idea how difficult it would be to lift someone up by their like hand. I'd actually think it's impossible, but like we can say that it's Shade's superpower. We can say
their unique ability.
I'm all for that. I was talking about the fact that the man's hand is not fleshy.
Oh, see, the reason
Like
it would be weird.
problem of some hand.
It would be weird to just, in the moment, be like, your hand is not flesh. I mean, that's not against Shade's personality, I guess. But...
Yeah, the reason why I had to point it out is in case this guy ever becomes a bad guy, Yuri knows he has an animatable hand.
Another one to add to my collection, the Grievous meme.
Let me... Would you care to give me a hand?
Yeah, it'll really get to be a handful.
Dear God.
Oh my
God. Getting back to it, but as I mentioned, if you don't want to take the job, then I can't enforce it. And as long as you're not working for them with the intent of actually helping them, that was a weird way to phrase that sentence.
Basically, if we don't do anything to make ourselves the enemy of the state, we won't be.
Correct, thank you. My brain had a hiccup.
Yeah, fine.
I was like, wait a second.
I've never been an enemy of anyone before, I think.
I mean, I'm pretty sure we were the enemy of that wizard guy. He did try to kill us. And everybody else.
That was barely a threat, but
Yeah,
I suppose.
people try to kill each other all the time. That doesn't mean you're enemies.
Serious threat.
Please
Are you
roll
saying that
1d4
said
vicious
enemy?
mockery damage. The mage isn't here, but he still suffered the damage.
Are you saying that friends try to kill each other?
Of
And
course,
that's normal behavior?
Sometimes.
it happens all the time.
But it's not a good thing, so please do not mimic that behavior.
Best friends don't. See, that's why we're best friends.
That is
Shade
true.
writes it down. Friends sometimes kill each other.
So the way it goes is
But
yes,
best friends don't
kill each
Make sure to
other.
add that. I'm a best friend, you see.
Best friends don't.
Hey.
Friends might. Neutral parties probably don't. Enemies might. It's a real mishmash of things.
Wouldn't happen to have like a ledger or anything around that I could give to my friend to keep their notes in, that I could also review and remove any stupid notes from.
Yeah, they've just been writing it with ink on their like metallic arm this whole time.
Like in Mulan, where she writes the notes on her arm.
Exactly.
Or even
Yes,
Memento,
let's go.
where it just gets slowly
my
more and
God.
more crowded.
Yes.
Yeah, he will. He just has a blank ledger that he can give you.
All right. I will hand it over to Shade. Yeah, take your notes in this, and let me review it at the end of each day. Okay.
Okay. They're so excited that they have gotten a gift from a best friend.
anyways, that's all that I really had. The guard office will constantly be open, and if you have any updates, feel free to come to us, or inevitably we will also come to you. I don't feel like I need to say this, as Kai has already mentioned it, but we will be watching you for the foreseeable future. Just so you aren't quite
Understandable, just,
alarmed by it.
First.
Tell your guards not to be so
Obvious.
conspicuous about it.
They are the best in the business. They just can't beat a nat 26.
I mean, just standing across the street watching is
Pathetic.
kind of not the best way. Pretend to be a patron at the bar or something, you know? Like, don't arouse suspicion. Because it wasn't just us, the other guy also noticed that. So,
He also rolled really high on his perception check.
also, if you could tell us like a signal to either call them for help or tell them to F off in
Yes.
case there's a situation
there
where we
a,
need to like gain confidence or, you know, something of that nature.
Yeah,
he
we
will
look
show
at
you.
that signal.
He will show you a couple hand signals.
Okay. Brilliant.
You all learn like 5 words of thieves' can't.
Oh shit.
I will practice doing it with my mage hand.
So between your mage hand and some hand, you currently have 4 hands, and then your own hands, of course. Yeah.
And now
How
I
many
just need
hands
to
can
take
one
a
guy
couple of. I need to take 3 levels in monk so I can become a way of the astral self.
Wave the open hand. There we go.
No, I get 2 more arms if I go astral self.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Just become General
By the end of
Grievous.
this, I'm gonna be Asura.
Oh. Yeah. Okay, all right, yeah, but the guards will then escort you out of the office building.
As we leave, is the guy who was stalking us still hanging around?
No.
I wanted to call him a slacker on my way out.
Well, you think that he got dismissed for no longer being the best in the business.
Yeah.
Or reassigned.
Let's go.
See, when
I
you
got
pay someone
fired.
a lot of money for them not to be seen, and then they're seen immediately afterward, that doesn't go over well.
Slacker.
Slacker.
But you're all back in the city.
I would like to clarify with you guys. Are we planning on being double agents? Are we actually going to report on...
Not something we should discuss out loud in public.
This is a very good point. I was just hypothesizing. Carry on.
The double agent. Shade says out loud.
Twice as good as a normal agent.
Exactly.
I think that's right.
Huh.
It's not right.
Right, we need to find the
No,
other
see,
ones. and
we have to be a
apologize for, like,
sextuple agent and betray everybody. We're on the fort side, our own side.
Yeah. But you can all head back to the tavern. You have your tavern's room free of charge for 1 more day. You can all head elsewhere in the city. You technically do have a couple hours before your meeting with Mirage.
Is there a private
yeah,
place we
would-
can discuss this? Because the tavern is where Mirage lives as well. And even though we have our own rooms, I don't know how thin the walls are.
What if we dig
Oh.
a hole and sit in the hole?
I
And
don't know that a hole is soundproof. Maybe if you dig it deep enough and then fill it. but
I mean, when you're
An
buried
open
alive, you
hole.
tend to die, and dead men tell no tales. But I don't think this is exactly what we're going for here.
right, exactly.
Who are we exactly? We're
Uh,
worried will overhear us?
I mean, apparently there's like 3 different factions running around, so any one of them,
I mean, you can come by
or
my
some.
machine shop. It's so loud there, like I can't hear anything. I don't think anyone else can.
Did you not
Oh,
go
really?
there earlier in the day to say that you wouldn't see them for a while?
Oh, I was putting in like my couple days notice. I mean, like I'm not gonna say no if I show back up again. But,
I see. Okay, I just thought it might be kind of awkward for you.
I mean, it could be kind of awkward for me. But hey, better awkward than dead or caught, I suppose. I mean,
Yeah,
Better
alternatively,
awkward
we
I'd
can
be
than
just
dead.
go for a
inclined to
walk.
agree.
But
you do think that you could find a couple other places that are relatively secure, but that seems like as good of an option as any. It just depends on like what type of setting you want to be surrounded in.
If there's like a quiet room at the machine shop, that sounds like the best place to go. Have
I mean,
the
there's the employee
ambience
break room. Um, I mean, if we
as long
stand really
as
close together, I can hear what you're saying, but it's gonna be loud. But it's gonna be really impossible for anyone else to listen in, and that's kind of the point. Unless, of course, they're standing right next to us, in which case I don't think even the best in the business could refrain from being noticed.
So here's a question: do the machines ever randomly turn off?
I
Because it'd
mean,
be a
they
real shame
break.
if we were shouting and then the machine turns off,
Oh,
and
no,
then we
there-
let
there
something
would
start.
never- there would never be.
betray the town? Oh, shouldn't have said that out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I doubt it. I mean, at a machine shop, you have several different machines going simultaneously. Every once in a while, one will break down, but there's enough going during operating hours that there's no way they'd all suddenly shut off.
That would be highly
Okay.
suspicious.
And yeah, and officially, I could just be showing you around where I work, avoid suspicion that way.
Bring your best friend to work day.
Yeah!
Yes.
This is the engine grease. This is the metal stamper. This is the forge.
Could you stamp me?
I don't think you'd survive. It's we stamp parts, not warforged. It would make like a
Yeah,
cookie
pretty
cutter shape out
sure.
of your midsection in the shape of a doorknob. I don't think you want that.
I was picturing like what
Or
organics
like a
call
tattoo, but
tattoos.
Oh,
you want
I
to be
could
branded.
actually
Is what I'm
legitimately
hearing.
arrange for that. I'd have to like
No.
cash in my favor with Billy. He operates the stamp works, but we could turn down the intensity. I'm not sure we should do that, but if you were insistent, I wouldn't say no.
I would like my holy sigil somewhere on me, if possible, but no pressure.
I'll talk to Billy. Maybe we could work something out.
Shade writes down, talk to Billy.
Sorry, give me a second where I can make up this NPC
I mean-
that was created 5 seconds ago.
This is where Corwin says make an intelligence roll, and I roll low, and it's just like, well, I hope you have a new character prepared.
Nah, this is just so that I just gotta make a note that there's apparently an NPC named Billy that is like someone that has to be remembered now.
Don't,
I just
don't
willed into
forget Marcus
existence.
and
Oops.
Andrew.
Marcus? I don't think there's been a Marcus this
Andrew.
game yet. Has there been?
No,
Yeah,
he was that one guy that we saw that one time.
That
thought it
one
was-
guy that we saw that one time. Yeah.
So specific.
I thought it
No,
was
Eric's brother, Eric,
I
and Eric's cousin, Derek.
If you ever need to buy time in a game, just reminisce about your family: Billy, Bob, Bradley. As many names as you can think of.
yeah.
Let me
Just tell you guys whatever. See, what I need to do is whenever I need to buy time in a session, I just tell my players to roll wisdom saving throws and then say, interesting.
Interesting.
Let's all spend 10 minutes insight checking each other for fun.
It'll be like the one time that Xeno replaced my character with a simulacrum, and I played that for a few sessions. That was fun.
Oh, that's
Aha.
rad, actually.
What?
That's pretty sick.
It was pretty rad. It was pretty rad.
It wasn't
But
for a
if he
few
does make you roll wisdom
sessions.
saves, he might not just be stalling.
Hey,
Just keep it in mind.
It might actually be a threat to your existence.
It would have been all fine for the party, except the party decided to split up, and the paladin, which was simulacrum, mind controlled, and the wizard went together. Poor wizard.
Oh,
Poor
yeah, I
wizard.
can see that going super well.
Never
Love
seen someone
that.
cast Misty Step so fast in their life. It's like, where is the emergency nope button?
Smite is a hell of an ability. You can just dump damage.
Smite is a hell of a drug.
Dual mind, yeah, actually, wow, that is crazy. Dual mind's
Advantage on
great.
all Kailash. What is this Kailash tar? Is like
It's-
it's good.
They're like a quasi
Have you ever
ethereal. It's
played
like
a
when
Yuan-Ti?
me.
They're insane.
Ooh, Yuan-Ti.
They have advantage against spells and magical abilities.
What?
I
Just
have a
generally.
Yuan-Ti
What?
illusionist wizard like in my backup character list. I'm gonna play that someday. I'm pretty hyped. Yuan-Ti are cool.
Ooh.
They're insane.
The
Oh
only
my
wizard character I
goodness.
have is a raccoon.
Crazy, right?
that does not seem that surprising, actually.
Yeah, his name is Moon Pie. We'll get to him eventually.
I was actually thinking it'd be really cool to make a raccoon, like, character race.
You
That'd be
sold
neat.
her
There
on
is
it
a-
immediately.
There is one. I can send it to you. It's
Oh,
not
really?
official, of course, but there is a stat
Okay.
block for it. It's great.
Homebrew. Let's
I was
go.
just thinking, because there's like a
Yeah.
rabbit, and there's a bunch of birds.
Yeah,
Um,
right?
They got
Yeah, but I
rabbits,
think it would be
birds,
cool to have a
cats.
red panda character race, a raccoon character race, and then some other animal, but I hadn't decided.
Technically the Tanuki subrace, but you can
Tanuki.
flavor it as raccoon or possum.
Okay.
Tanukis actually aren't related to raccoons. It's fascinating.
I know.
They're not. I thought they were like
so
a raccoon
confusing.
dog hybrid.
No, they're their own species.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
just one of those things where an ecological niche
Wow.
is filled by really similar species.
But they look the same. Well, I think Tanukis are a little bit thinner, where
Tanukis are a
raccoons are a little bit chubbier. But don't they look relatively the same?
They look similar,
Alright.
but they
I
are
Someone
think
different.
gotta
Tanuki
post
literally
Tanuki
means
pics
raccoon
in the
dog.
chat.
We interrupt the session to bring you
For
a discussion
Tanuki
about the
pics.
etymology.
So wait, when do we get the
Evolution.
super leaves, you know?
Chat, sorry, this is important. But
Yeah, it is.
sorry, what did you say, TK?
When do we get the super leaf?
Oh,
Oh, but they
It's
are
like now,
members of
next
the
session.
Squad
the moment I can plan it.
That's a Tanuki.
So
I
this is
love
what
his
I was
stare.
talking about on the Yuan-Tis. They have the most
That's a
busted
raccoon.
resistance.
Yeah, just having advantage on saving throws seems insane.
Who needs freaking a mantle of spell resistance or a robe of the Archmagi where you could just be a snake. Little sneaky boy
Yeah.
or girl.
Oh, I guess they are different, but they do look very similar.
I do like that the Tanuki has slightly unhinged eyes, like he's looking at something.
They're like actually way too close together.
The raccoon almost looks remorseful. The Tanuki is staring into your soul.
It's like Sauron and
regrets.
Gandalf.
Oh shit. That's what I should name my raccoon wizard, Gandalf.
Gandalf the Grey. Because he is.
Oh, it's perfect.
Or brown? I don't actually know what hair color raccoons have.
I think they're like a grayish brown.
All right. Moving off of raccoons, and back onto the D&D game.
This is all Billy's fault.
Billy.
Billy. Who's Billy? Billy. Okay, Billy. Got him. Okay. Yes, it is Billy's fault. So the party's heading over to Billy's shop then.
I don't know if it's
No, it's the
Billy's
shop
but
that
maybe it
Billy
is now.
works at.
What if we were like,
Uh,
nah?
I
Billy
think Billy
owns
just
it now.
works the stamps.
Billy
I don't know
owns
if
it
Yeah,
now.
he operates
Yeah.
the stamping mechanism.
Yeah, because I don't have time to plan 2 NPCs off the top of my head, so I'm already like developing Billy. So like
Billy's
as
in
of the-
charge.
Billy's in charge right now, whether he's always been in charge or whether he's been having this long fought out like lawsuit with his brother
Oh,
about like
Silly.
ownership of the buildings.
Well, see, now that you've said that, you can't not make it happen.
Yeah, that's true. You guys are gonna accept a quest from Billy
World building.
to go fight his brother in court because his brother thinks that he owns more of the shop despite never
it was
working
Ace
at it.
Attorney the
And
whole time.
yeah,
You know,
like,
it's funny you say that. Literally on my Thursday game, there was 2 instances where I had to be the lawyer of the group. Once in the court of the gods, and then the other time, like I think talking ourselves out of a deal with Asmodeus.
coincidence?
Asmodeus, eh?
I think not.
Just a typical Thursday. Court of the Gods and Asmodeus.
My
And,
character did end up selling their soul.
Oh yeah, I could have guessed that.
To be honest, I'd sell my soul for 1d10 force damage.
Yeah, you
I
know,
would. Yeah. Like warlocks, they get a lot of hate, but 1d10 plus something else.
I mean those Eldritch Invocations are nice too.
That's if you get a level.
Love me some Devil's Sight.
Fair. Can't just be a Hexblade multi-class.
That's exactly what I am.
You and everyone else. No.
Believe me, if I could get the armor proficiency without being a hexblade, I would.
Yeah. Or you could just play Turtle. That's what I'm doing. I don't need strength. I don't need dexterity or strength scores, and I have a 20 AC.
Yeah, but I want to fly, you know?
Oh yeah, flying is good. I can't lie. Turtles don't fly.
They do
Yes.
fly. You just gotta like use your jets on your back as propulsion.
Oh,
Alright.
that's true.
Play Mario Sunshine. We can do that.
I'll literally be like Blastoise, use Hydro Pump to fly.
I
True.
remember that. That's great.
If you turn the hammers around, they can become the rammers and they can help you fly.
Hell yeah.
I mean, the flame. What's the difference between a flamethrower and a jetpack? It's just power, right? It just crank that up.
Just physics.
I think it's a matter of concentration of said power and the, you know,
Fair.
condensedness of
Okay.
Are we at Billy's yet?
Anyways,
very distracted.
are we there yet?
I'm
Does
so
Billy
sorry.
exist yet?
Does he
Yeah.
exist?
Yeah, Billy kind of exists in the same thought that like I originally wrote down, that like Billy the goat, Billy goats, Billy brother, all that thought is still there. But yeah, you could. Are you all going to Billy's shop? I think I asked this and then like it got further.
Yeah,
Like
we were gonna talk there, I think.
yeah. So you can go to Billy's shop. He's currently manning the what did you say was there, Chris? Like a
Stamp.
press and a forge and a stamp. Yeah.
Stamping
So
press.
so he's manning them. He like gestures and mehs at you.
Hey, Billy. Anyways, this is probably the best spot to discuss things you don't want other people to hear.
Can we get Billy to take a hike for a second?
No, we could
I-
just take a hike. If we just walk 5 feet that way, Billy's not going to be able to hear what we say. I'm already talking pretty loud. It is loud in here. The
Billy
forge
has
bellows are
a-
running, the machines are clanking. But once you're like more than 5 feet away from someone, you shouldn't be able to make out what they're saying.
Yeah, you guys can just head in the back. Billy has like memory issues, so you'll be fine. I won't remember anything. Billy won't remember anything in the morning.
No.
Brilliant.
I don't know how Billy works here all day long. You'd think that they'd forget like what to actually do, but they haven't. They haven't. Must be muscle memory.
No, they just also have a journal like Shade. And they refer to it every day.
Oh, that's a good idea. Billy must have a journal like that. I think Billy lost it. Torque, do you know where Billy put his journal?
Are you sure Billy's not the main character of this campaign?
Oh my goodness, Billy. He's the third party that we've all been afraid of this whole time.
Oh, shit.
I am the wizard. Or he talks in the third person, so Billy is the wizard.
Did I hear correctly that we're going into a closet together?
I thought it was the employee break room.
Yeah, the break
Oh.
room's the locker.
Perhaps I have assumed something.
No, this spot right here in the middle, the out back is fine. There'll be other people in the break room. It'll also be kind of weird to be in the employees only area. I mean, it is bring your best friend to work day, but
Which is
I
now a
love
new
that that's the
national
thing at
day.
your workplace.
Who
it's
did
a
Billy
holiday
bring?
because I feel like it.
Who did Billy bring for bringing your best friend to work?
Billy brought himself because he thinks that he's different than Billy.
Oh,
he has 2 name tags on.
Yeah, he has Billy and Billy. They're both the same. He's just wearing 2 of them.
oh my god.
Canon. Bill E and Bill
Bill E and Billy. His cousin's name is
Wow.
Bill I.
Bill I am.
Bill I. Billy.
Bill will and Bill won't.
All right, that's his brother's name. All right, adding to my notes.
Oh, no, Bill Lee.
Bill Lee is the brother who is fighting
This is
inheritance.
all really important, guys.
Yeah, it is. It's essential.
It's called active world building, okay?
Yeah.
Dixon.
See, this is what the world building Reddit wishes their discussions were like.
Honestly, this is Billy's world. We're just living in it.
For real.
When the history books tell the tale, one name shall be heard across the universe. Billy.
Our word, Billy.
Oh my god. This really speaks to a positive work employee experience.
You should see our dental plan.
Turns out the dental work is actually at this factory too.
That would be
It's
Bill
what the
Lee.
small office is for. Like the small office Torque brings you into, it's both the break room and the dentist's office. It's both-
Yeah, they've got the drills and everything.
yeah, you see the little like uncomfortable chair they have you sit in. The weird spotlight that like blinds you and like reduces a year off
in
of your
Torque's
vision
style,
every
you have
time you look
noticed
at
that he
it.
has several metal teeth.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'd
You are in a
say
secluded
Yuri
area.
would start the conversation with like,
We did it.
honestly, I'm not entirely sure whose side to be on.
Well, I'm more
dental
partial to
plan
him.
is great, but there must be some reason that the people are rebelling. At the same time, I don't have the full story on the rebellion either, so I don't really know what to do here besides play both sides until, we know which one isn't filled with horrible monsters. And if they all are, I guess we'll deal with that when it comes.
I guess that's fair enough. I mean, I'm personally more inclined to work with the rebels because I'm a rebel. But it could turn out that they're just terrible people masquerading as the people's champions, and it turns out the government's the actual good guys. It could happen. So
Or it could be
maybe
that they're
playing both
both
sides for a
equally
while to figure
bad.
things out is not a bad idea.
Solid.
I don't like lying.
Neither
Can't
do I.
we just be
but
friends with everybody?
No, because they're enemies with each other, and so if we're friends
Well,
with both of them,
Well then,
neither of them will be our friends anymore, and then we'll be everybody's enemy.
we should just get them to talk it out.
Yeah, Shade,
I'm
I mean-
sure that's been tried.
I feel really similarly. I do wish everyone could be friends. I mean, when the company first came to my island, we were friends. They actually washed up on our shores due to a storm, and we sent them on their way. And then they came back with more ships, and we became a mining colony for the next
Ah,
5 years.
colonists. Were they from here?
I do not know where the hell they were from. I hope I'd figured.
Okay.
I hoped I'd figured that out when I would come
'Cause
here.
if
But
you had said yes, I would have been like, okay, we're siding with the rebellion colonizers.
oh, they're not from here. I don't think. Though I wouldn't doubt there were some investors from here. I mean, my island's full of insert resource that technology wants here. We still haven't figured out what that is exactly. But they were after it and they wanted it and they made us mine it. We were able to kick them out, but yeah, the company.
I know. I know what you mean. People like that will never let you rest. At first, they set a quota that's perfectly reasonable to hit, and you're like, I can do this. This is easy. But then the days go by, you fulfill one quota, they come back to you with 100 more credits the next time. How long are you supposed to keep going on?
They just keep raising that quota until you gotta kick them off the island.
Have you all worked for the same company?
No, but it's similar practices.
No, but corporations tend to be evil.
I've
This
never
one
worked for
literally
a
smelled of
corporation
brimstone
before.
and spoke infernal, but that's not all the corporations.
To answer the question,
Yuri will speak in infernal and be like all corporations.
Torque will also speak in infernal and say, "I agree."
I would actually really quickly like to clarify with you, Chris, because I thought we worked on it, and I thought they spoke abyssal, not infernal.
Abyssal. Sorry, my bad. I forgot there
Okay,
were
never
multiple
mind.
demonic languages.
Your-
Yes, they
your
spoke
character-
abyssal, not infernal.
Your characters
Wow.
gaslit themselves too much.
All
No, yeah, I too much.
Same to you.
I do apologize. I
speak
forgot there were
infernal.
multiple demon languages. I just thought there was one. There are devils and demons, which means
the
there's
thing-
abyss, demons, and then devils, which is Sorry, what are the two languages? It was infernal and abyssal. Okay, gotcha. All right.
The thing is you speak abyssal. They spoke abyssal, but you think it's infernal. So the moment you start speaking infernal, you're like, what is this strange language?
How similar, honestly, is abyssal and infernal? Is it like
They
Spanish
are-
and Portuguese, where there's like some crosswords, or is it like completely radically different?
I'm fairly certain they're pretty different.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
Primordial is like
Non-intelligible.
guttural sounds, apparently. So
Billy speaks primordial. Don't ask why. It's a long story. It involves his ex-wife. No, he has
Yes,
an
my
ex-wife.
bad. I have
I don't
no
know.
idea what you said. I speak a different language.
Millie.
Abyssal.
Millie. Okay. All right. This is getting
Millie.
out of hand.
And then it's because he had an affair with her sister Lily.
Oh.
The love triangle now? What's happening?
Okay.
Billy's story keeps on evolving. You're right. He is the main character.
I don't know why I'm writing this down as if these
You
matter.
broke that up.
I'm making notes. I'm making notes of it. It's just like, why?
Why?
It's
not
for the
relevant.
callback. It'll be great later.
Hey, if you know, you know. Just be like the original members of Elysium know Lily. Joey is Billy's wife. No.
Oh boy.
No. But to answer the question with the company technically, you have not found any leads that they were like directly associated with Eraheim, Chris. Like you said, there may have been investors that are just a little bit more hidden. But outside of the company acting like a cult, you didn't get much. You don't know a lot about them actually.
Yeah, they were pretty mysterious. We figured they were just from the mainland, but when I got to the mainland, sent by my people to find out what was happening and make friends and allies to help us in our fight, nothing. They're kind of like a ghost.
It turns out the mainland was quite a lot bigger than Torque's Island.
Yep, this is true. Everyone knows everyone on my island. It's not that way here. World's a big place. Our people were isolated for a little too long, though. Don't tell that to the fundamentalists; they'll chew your ear out for it. But they think we should go back to living in isolation. But I know the company will be back one day. But I'm ranting here. Yes, I think playing both sides is a good idea for now.
That
Shade
means we
looks.
don't tell either of the sides the entire truth, Shade.
Okay.
I do realize we're asking a lot. Maybe I can make it up to you by getting that tattoo thing to work.
I don't think those things are correlated, but I will say yes anyway.
I'll go talk to Billy.
You can go talk to Billy. He's during one of his like can't really like see out of his left eye phases. So he's like squinting at you aggressively, and his right eye is really exaggerated and opened.
Hey Billy, I realize it's one of those times, so it's not the best time to ask. But can we turn down the stamping machine a little? I have a friend, a Warforged, who wants to stamp a pattern into them. Something about a holy symbol.
Huh?
I said, can I use your machine to stamp my friend?
Strange request.
Yeah, a strange request. I'll agree. But a request nonetheless.
Yeah, you could probably do it, but I warn you, Billy said that he's gonna be back in like 5 minutes, so you gotta do it quick.
All right, Billy. Sounds good. I'll turn down the dial on like the steam engine and make it a little bit weaker.
Billy then walks off.
All right, Shade, if you want in, now's the time.
Shade's gonna lay down excitedly.
Like the conveyor belt.
Yeah,
All right, do you have a sketch of the what you want it to look like or something?
I sure do. They're gonna pull out. Hold on. It's coming in the chat.
I'm so dead.
They're gonna pull out a folded piece of paper with this really scribbly symbol on it, and it's kind of like an eclipse, but it also has like these like spikes coming out of it, like sun
Ooh.
rays.
That's pretty complicated.
Remind me, you're still Twilight, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, solid.
But
Level 6 is gonna
pull
be
out
really fun for you.
my tools. I think I do actually have the right tools for the job. It's like an artificer thing. The right tool for the job. Oh, it requires an hour of uninterrupted work, but I actually think I already have proficiency with the right tools because I have Smith's tools is the ones that I chose because I thought being a blacksmith is super badass, so that's what I went with. So I'll like grab like a piece of sheet metal, pound out the design really quick, and put it into the machine and hope for the best.
All right, yeah, you can get it. You can stamp Shade. Where do you want the stamp at?
Tramp stamp.
A tramp stamp. Cleric with a tramp stamp. Let's go.
Not just cleric, Warforged cleric with the tramp stamp. Like
The layers. I think let's put it on their shoulder. That
Okay.
feels
All right,
right.
shoulder it is. I run the machine and hope it doesn't take your arm off.
Hey,
My
it would only
calculations
add
are
to
correct.
Yuri's collection.
We have replacements.
It's a win-win.
Hey, I know mending. I could maybe fix them.
Don't
Wait,
think that's how
if
it
two
works,
people
but
do
hey.
mending, can you fix like two different breaks where you're like normally constrained to one?
As long as they're not any bigger than 1 foot each.
Oh, okay.
No, you can print the the symbol onto either your right or left shoulder, or on
Let's
both.
go.
Let's do left. I feel like they're a lefty.
Left hand man. Let's go.
All right, you have your symbol on your left shoulder. It does not take your arm off.
Wow, it didn't take my arm off.
the bar for success was set so high. All right, Billy, thank you. I know
Or
you're
like
going to be back here in 5 minutes. I'll turn the machine back to the normal settings.
They're like kind of flexing, like in the mirror.
Billy comes back and seems confused at why he left in the first place.
You're the man, Billy. I know I can count on you. I know you don't know why, but
Wait,
thanks.
I'm a man? That explains so much.
Hey, you can be
I was about
whatever
to
you want
I
to, buddy.
got
Did I
kicked out
just
of the
misgender
women's-
Billy?
I thought some pixies were pranking me.
Wait, what?
Oh,
I
Billy.
don't ever want to understand what he's saying. Please keep that picture in.
It's good because
I need this to be a recurring character that just makes no sense.
I need to get a handout for him. Actually, I feel like that might no, he is Billy.
No, he-
Odd Jobs Billy. He shows up everywhere and makes
I
Be like as
feel-
like ambiguous. As
Yeah, having any information on Billy just ruins the,
Yeah, I
the
feel
allure
like
of
giving him
Billy.
a handout kind of breaks it. So I'm just gonna make a name handout.
No.
Billy.
You do, yeah, exactly. You make a handout, but it's
Yeah.
blank. It just
Here,
says
I-
Billy on
Billy.
it. And
Billy.
next time he shows up, you give us another blank one, but the spelling is different.
There we go.
And then
I
we'll
added-
just run
I added
across
the
like a
description.
William.
Billy,
go.
not Billy, or Billy, just Billy. Not confusing at all.
the
know
handout
exactly
just
who this
says the handout just says Billy.
The Eldritch
It's-
Abomination text.
It gradually gets more and more like corrupted as the
Billy
story
is the
progresses.
company.
Billy is the reason we make those wisdom saves.
And the
my God.
company is actually an eldritch god. That's amazing.
Yeah.
May I speak to this?
Billy's just gonna wake up one day and start speaking Abyssal, and the party's gonna be like, "Wait a second."
You don't know Abyssal, do you, Billy? It's like the moment where Gandalf speaks the language of Mordor, and
Billy is secretly Nyarlathotep.
He's the Watcher. What were we doing? Party was discussing. Party playing
We
double
decided-
agents.
Yeah,
Getting
we decided we're
tatted,
gonna play both
obviously.
sides
Shade
until
got
we have a
tattooed.
reason to take one.
Yeah. All right. Okay. So the party is in Billy's shop. You discussed. You can continue discussing or head on out. But
I
yeah.
think we
Well-
got everything we needed here. Did you?
Well, Kailash, what
Did you also
exactly
want-
did you want to cover here?
What did I want to cover? No, I just wanted to know because we were meeting Mirage. I just wanted to know what our plan was, whether we were working for him secretly, if we were going to rat him out. It's good to know that we're playing both sides until one proves to be kind of assholes.
Pretty much.
I'm pretty partial to the rebels, but I'm keeping an open mind. Maybe they're terrible. It's hard to know. I've never worked for them before.
Best to keep your cards close to your vest.
Yeah. What happens if we get propositioned by this mysterious third party? We do the
They've
same?
already kind of proven to be assholes when they, tried to hijack the train and kill everybody on it. So we can safely rule them out as potential allies.
That is fair enough.
What if it was like for a really, really good reason? Like what if they were trying to help
I
sick
don't
and
really
dying
care what their
children?
reason was. I don't want to die.
Sick and dying children are always a good reason.
It's like
to kill
you
an
can't say
entire
no to
train full of
frickin' dying
passengers
children.
without saying anything. What if their plan was to take those sick and dying children and put them in the mines?
Not the
Well,
mine.
I mean, they're already playing
Well,
Minecraft anyways.
the children do yearn to mine. I mean,
The children year in the mines.
They're called miners not because they go digging, but because they're small.
Exactly. They're small so they can fit into caves more efficiently.
What is this
Speedrunning
conversation?
I don't know. I just hope that it's all satire.
Shade's 100% serious at all time.
Shade has no other mode.
Except for sarcasm. Just kidding.
Sarcasm.
No, you don't even have sarcasm.
Not yet.
I'm just waiting
That's
for the
gonna be your
moment
level
where
10 unlock.
I'm just waiting for the moment where Shay just starts using sarcasm incorrectly.
Start saying everything sarcastically without meaning to.
So
Alright.
when we go see Mirage, we're just pretending we didn't meet Garrick at all? Are we going to say that we met him
No, I
and turned
think
down
we
his
can-
offer?
We can, I think, let him know what was asked of us and let him know that we're not sold on it, and that given that we're so new to things, we're kind of trying to, I don't know, find our footing. Something. If one of you is a better liar, please, by all means.
Well, it's an interesting strategy to play double agent by telling the party that you are playing double agent.
Right. We just tell them what we think they'll want to hear until we know enough to decide who we want to side with. Like, for real.
No, I think that's a sound enough strategy. Mirage seems like the decently understanding type. When he realized we weren't who he thought we were, he didn't immediately try and kill us. So that's a start.
Right. That is why I'm willing to talk to him. And not just immediately, rat him out to Garrick.
Well, so then it should be no big deal. It shouldn't really be an issue for Shade, right? We're not lying per se.
Shade's just standing and vibrating uncomfortably.
Don't worry, Shade. Before we have a conversation with either of them, if there's anything that we need you to not say, I will speak to you beforehand.
Okay.
Just you could write that down in the notes. If I didn't speak to you about it, ask me
Yuri
just in case.
Loves talking to
but
me.
Yes, I do love talking to you. You are the best conversational partner.
I think that is where we're gonna call it for the night, though.
Sorry for
Woo!
the derailing, by the way.
Hey, no, I always appreciate derailing. It's funny.
With this group, I
Like-
don't know, man.
That
Where
was
would we be
Sure.
without
insanity.
Half of
That
the-
was
I was crying laughing.
half
that
of the
was
stream.
so fucking funny.
Half of the D&D game may have been talking about raccoons and Billy and things in
It's
between.
various relatives.
His
And
relative.
the other half was actual gameplay, but it was fun. It was great. I thought it was all good.
Yes.
Alright,
love this.
solid.
I wrote
So-
down in my notes, got tatted and joined 2 opposing political factions day 1.
Yeah.
Sounds like a session well played.
Yeah, I both A,
Neither
expected
side
that
tried to
more would
kill us.
happen, and B, did not think that this much would get done. Yeah, arguably quite efficient. You talked with both factions, you set up both like base things, you even went to Billy's shop. We created a new NPC, a very elaborate NPC apparently mid-session. It's great.
I was
I
serious
don't-
about the Warforged OS, by the way.
Yeah.
And I named him Silly on purpose because he's Windows Sill.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Those layers.
Oh.
Sometimes I wonder, have
Oh
we
my
gone too
God.
far?
You
Like
know,
as a species.
As a species.
Oh. Oh, okay. Well,
On that uplifting note.
Yeah, I think that is the note where we will call it. Thank you all so much for playing. Thank you everyone
Thank you,
who showed up.
Zeno.
Thank you.
Thank you for tolerating me.
Yeah, this was fun. This was really fun. I don't know how next session's gonna go. Billy's probably gonna be in it. If it's not, like, the fans are gonna uprise at this point, and at this point the fans are me.
And TK's wife. and,
Yes.
And your wife.
and my wife.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right,
GG's, y'all. That was great. Thank you
That
all
was
so
really
much
fun.
for
Yeah,
indulging
that-
my nonsense.
That's so great. I guess we're gonna rate out, and yeah, thank y'all so much. This was fantastic.
Yeah. Good time.
This was good. This was good.
Good Szechuan.
Agreed.
Szechuan sauce.